I would say I'm still probably 2 times a week I piss in my sink.
Which sink?
Kitchen. What?
Oh, that's
what? I finished doing the dishes late at night.
I actually think that this
and then
is
I just run the
I think this
water.
is what if an ongoing
so,
bit that Big Cat's. I still don't believe that you actually do that.
I do. I know he does.
He's seen me do it. On today's Pardon My Take, we have Super Bowl champ, recurring guest, Andrew Whitworth in studio.
Walter Payton Man of the Year.
Walter Payton Man of the Year, Andrew Whitworth in studio. Great chat with him. Thursday Night Football coming up. He's on Amazon Prime. We have One Question with a Quarterback with Chad Henne, some Monday Night Football recap, some Sunday cleanup, Hot Seat Cool Throne, Guys on Chicks. And it's all brought to you by our friends at Game Time. Game Time is the exclusive ticketing partner of Barstool Sports. Give the gift of an awesome experience this holiday season with Game Time. If you're nervous that your present won't arrive in time or simply forgot to holiday shop, Game Time tickets get delivered to your phone and inbox instantly. Game Time has all the best tickets, and you'll get an awesome price on them. If you haven't given Game Time a shot yet, now's the time. We've been using Game Time all year. We've gone to a ton of games, concerts, everything. Game Time has you covered. Download the Game Time app, go to the account tab to create a login. Redeem code PMT for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Download Game Time. Last-minute tickets, lowest price, guaranteed. The exclusive ticketing partner of Barstool Sports. Check them out right now. Game Time has the best prices out there, especially if you're looking for that last-minute ticket. You can get it with one click of a button on your phone, and then boom, mom, dad, sister, brother, aunt, uncle, oh, you're going to this game. Great gift. So go check out Game Time app right now and use code PMT for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Okay, let's go. Welcome to Pardon My Take. Today is Wednesday, December 21st, and I'm worried that the Packers might run the table.
No, that's not going to happen. That's not going to happen. They're a very flawed football team. We saw some of their flaws last night. They just happen to be better than the Los Angeles Rams, who stink in the cold weather anyways, and then found themselves in a tough situation. When you have Baker with like 2 days to study the playbook, there's not enough tape on him in Sean McVay's system. Now LaFleur was able to look at a few things. But my big takeaway from this game, Big Cat, is fuck you to Matt LaFleur. Now you go for it on 4th down.
Yeah.
Inside the 10. Now is when you do it.
Yeah.
And now is when you don't score. You
we
could have scored a touchdown.
We did bully him.
Yeah, but he still sounded firm last time we talked to him.
Yeah.
And he said, no, I remain resolute now more than ever. It was the right decision. You score a touchdown, you get the over for the people. You kick a field goal, you get the over 3.5 field goals for the people. Instead, he goes for it on 4th down, and he just gets a first down. And then he goes out for the rest of the game.
The 1 inch, there was basically 1 yard there that he could get the first down and not the touchdown. Not fun way to end Monday Night Football for the people. Do you promise me that the Packers aren't going to run the table?
I promise you. I promise. They've got a really tough schedule.
Yeah.
They've got the Dolphins, they've got the Lions, and Aaron Rodgers knew after the game when they were interviewing him, they're like, well, you're playing a bunch of above 500 teams. He goes, well, one of them's, I'm going to do my stupid Southern accent, and one of them is exactly 500.
Yep, the Lions being that. Yeah, they play the Dolphins, the Vikings, then the Lions. This guy's never, Hank just looked up. He's like, ooh, they could win all those games. Hank's going to put him in a hungry. Actually, could you put him in a hungry dog, please, for me? Because then there's no chance.
Sure.
Yeah.
What Hank's doing right now is just trying to get the heat off himself. He's still feeling it from Sunday night.
Are you still feeling it, Hank?
Yeah. I mean, as well you should. That's something that you're going to have a Sean McVay-like memory of that play for the rest of your life. And I feel lucky because I get to have the Sean McVay-like photographic memory of Hank having to watch that for the rest of my life.
Yeah, people really did enjoy watching your misery. That is what we do best. We do
Sickos.
Misery best. That's a fact.
Was it the Packers tried to run a lateral play last night too? Oh no, it was the Rams. The Rams tried to run
on an
right?
interception.
Yeah, they tried to do the lateral play, and then everyone's being like, "Hey, laterals aren't going to work. Rugby's not going to work." I think what we're seeing is that teams are going to do it no matter what. So we should educate them as to how to lateral safely, so that way they can have fun and practice safe lateraling.
Yes.
Because abstinence is clearly not going to be a viable option here.
It's hard not to throw the like when you're about to get tackled and there's a bunch of your teammates right behind you. It's hard not to be like, hey, here, take it.
It's just nature. It's human. The human body wants to lateral.
Right, exactly.
You can't tell it not to.
And when it works, it's the coolest thing ever.
Yes.
It truly is. I mean, Boise State, I'm trying to think, did Randy Moss do it once?
Yeah, Randy Moss did. The Chiefs have done it a few times.
Yep.
Travis Kelce still looks to do it 2-3 times a season.
Yep.
When he catches the ball like 30 yards downfield.
Yep.
The Chiefs would be the first team that would be able to like incorporate it and do it really, really
and
well.
actually pull it off.
Yeah.
Yeah, as a scripted play. But that Monday Night Football game, I don't know, like I feel like this season, the primetime games, I think it's just because they were just wrong about a lot of teams. But like watching that Packers Rams game is like feels like there's nothing at stake. This game was supposed to be incredible.
Yeah.
And it's not. But then on the flip side, and we'll talk about it with Andrew Whitworth, Jets-Jags Thursday night will be incredible because that is actually a playoff implications game.
That'll be actually a strangely fun game. It might not be a great game to watch, but it's going to have at least the implication of playoff seeding behind it.
So speaking of that, I wanted to throw out a hypothetical for you guys, just a fun little hypothetical. If you were starting a franchise today and salary matters and age matters, what order would you draft the quarterbacks? Salary matters, age matters.
Like every quarterback in the NFL?
Every quarterback in the NFL.
All right, so
Mahomes and Allen.
Big Cat's interesting that you're asking me that question right now because I've been on record saying I would take Justin Fields over Trevor Lawrence.
No, but
the fact that they're so young.
I think Trevor Lawrence right now, I'm being honest, would be ahead of him. I'm just wondering how high up Trevor Lawrence would be. That's the question, because I'm not. This isn't a Justin Fields question. I do think that Trevor Lawrence has shown more this year in terms of passing and like how much better he's gotten versus Justin Fields, who I still am very high on. He is the guy, but Trevor Lawrence, I think, goes ahead of Justin Fields right now. But it's more how high does Trevor Lawrence actually go?
I actually do disagree with you, though. I would take Justin Fields over Trevor Lawrence because I think that you can get better as a passer in the NFL. We've seen a couple guys do
weapons
it.
around
It's
him.
possible if you have good coaching around you, you've got good weapons, you can improve. We can design an offense that works with your skill set. I would rather have Justin Fields than Trevor Lawrence.
But where would your
I would
it's a Mahomes Allen.
I would still go Mahomes, Allen, Burrow.
Yep.
Burrow.
We're on the same agreement.
Probably Burrow number one overall, right?
Contract.
Given contract
maybe.
situation.
Yep.
You're going to have to pay him, but you're not paying him now.
Yep.
Herbert, he's up there. Lamar's up there.
But that's a big contract.
Heineke, he's cheap.
Is Trevor Lawrence?
Jalen Hurts is up there too.
Yeah. Is Trevor Lawrence top 7?
No, I'd say he's top 10.
He might be top 7.
I think he's top 10.
Just something that popped in my head, like, because we're gearing up for this Thursday night game.
I'm
just thinking, like just contracts matter a lot. I think he might be top 7.
Mike White.
What are you gonna say?
We factoring in durability.
Yeah,
we are.
Go ahead. Who's Trevor Lawrence? Oh no, Justin Fields isn't durable.
Just a lot of workload.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay.
I'd be curious what people would think.
Tua?
This is a tough spot for me.
Big Cat. Pop quiz. Pop quiz.
Yeah, 2-1.
Pop quiz, because we have to be fair.
Ahead of Trevor?
We're nothing if not fair and completely unbiased on this show. Do you know what the Miami Dolphins' point differential is this year?
Oh, it's not good, is it? Because they've been getting blown out recently.
It's 1.
Oh.
It's 1.
That's crazy because I feel like they did blow out a few teams earlier.
Yeah, but the Vikings, I think what are they back to, like 2 now?
Yeah.
I think the Vikings climbed. The Vikings have twice as good a point differential as the Dolphins do.
Damn. Yeah, it does. It will be very interesting to see what happens on Sunday with the Dolphins and the Packers, because if the Packers somehow win that game, I do think they're going to run the table. And then the Dolphins are like in full-on panic mode. Mike McDaniel, it's fun when it's going fun, and 4-game losing streak is a little different.
Yeah, the Packers are clearly in the new Call Me Maybe division that they debuted last night on ESPN, which I think is the worst of the bunch.
So bad.
It goes now it's sniffing around number 1. number 2 is still in the hunt. I like In the Hunt.
In
I know
the Hunt
some
is
people got sick of it.
classic.
Like, it was a miracle that they pulled sniffing around out of their back pocket. You had that laying around this whole time and you weren't using it.
Yep.
And then there's Loitering, which I think is behind In the Hunt, and then Call Me Maybe, which is a distant fourth.
Yes.
The Packers are. I'd say this: the Packers are in the primed to make a run position.
Yeah.
So like if they go down to Miami, they win this game, then yeah, watch out. The Packers, they might run the table. I don't think they're going to win this.
I hope you're right. It's my brain is riddled with just Aaron Rodgers somehow coming back from the dead.
He owns you.
And last night was one of those nights where it was like, I don't think the Rams are good. I very much acknowledge that, but it still looked like they were kind of clicking a little bit.
Yeah.
And Christian Watson is all of a sudden very, very good, and everything makes me nervous. What are you going to say, Billy?
This was going to be for my hot seat, but Stafford said that he's not retiring.
He's not retiring.
On his wife's podcast.
His wife has a
Oh.
podcast.
So that
Nice.
just shakes up the whole sort of Rams stuff.
Would
Yeah.
you be able to like turn down an invitation to go on your wife's podcast?
I don't think so.
Yeah, probably not, right?
Yeah, you have
You're
to
just
go.
recurring guest anytime.
Do you think that she writes notes down before? Is she like writing notes like interview questions?
Like during dinner,
Yeah,
he fucks up with his table manners, and he's setting the table and he puts the fork on the wrong side. She like makes a quick note of that.
Yeah.
Okay, we're gonna talk about
or just
that
be
later.
like, yeah, when you said last week that you were going to take the kids to the park and you didn't, what happened there?
Yeah. Hey, Matt, real quick, we're going to take a quick pause from our sponsor. They want to sponsor this segment. This is brought to you by Roman Swipes, Matt.
Yeah. Do you want to last longer, Matt? I'm happy that he's not retiring because he's a fun quarterback to watch. It is interesting what's going to happen with the Rams, but then again, you think about it, it's like, well, Matt Stafford's used to being on a bad team, so he'll be fine.
Yeah.
Like he'll be able to put up numbers. He'll be good, and they might not be good, but he'll be good.
He's been there before.
Yeah, like it's actually probably refreshing where he's like, no expectations.
He's probably just waiting for Cooper Kupp to get back.
Yeah.
And he's like, okay, I'll play with Cooper. I can make things happen with Cooper.
Yeah, his spinal contusion was actually just a spidey sense that Cooper Kupp's not out on the field.
He just
He's like,
missed.
I can't play like this.
He just misses his friend. He's
Yeah.
just lonely. And
Yeah.
Ben Skoranek, I guess if you like squint your eyes and have a couple shots of Jack Daniels, he kind of looks like Cooper Kupp a little bit.
Ben Skoranek from?
Not scoring touchdowns because I keep Ben Skoranek is going to be my guy that I have to continue to bet on to score a touchdown because Baker loved him so much.
Yeah.
That first time that they played together, I just have to keep betting on the guy. It's never going to happen.
The answer was Notre Dame, but I say that because I don't know if you saw Ravel tweeted and like complained. He was like, "This is the problem with the transfer portal. Ben Skoranek played 3 years at Northwestern, and everyone calls him a Notre Dame wide receiver.
No.
We don't get the credit for him." It's like, okay, dude.
I don't follow Darren Ravel.
Yeah, I mean, it was quite the complaint.
I have
To be like,
somebody-
it's so unfair that they don't say Northwestern.
I don't need to follow him. I've got somebody that takes Darren Ravel's best stuff that he puts out.
Yeah,
clips
clips
it
it
up
for you, yeah.
Big Cat's actually my guy that does that. He
I
just
did
tells
it.
me.
I
Yeah, you just did it right
that's
now.
That's a pretty fucking hilarious on brand Ravel tweet to be like,
It is.
Northwestern's not getting the publicity they deserve.
It is, yeah. It should have been. Yeah, this guy that still has yet to score a touchdown should get credit for going to Northwestern.
Because usually whenever like a guy scores and they're like from Notre Dame, I'm like, oh my God, Notre Dame's back.
Yeah.
A guy
Huge.
on that team from a few years ago scored a touchdown in the NFL this
Yeah.
Sunday.
Oh, speaking of guys from the Big Ten that are in media, Adam Schefter. Credit to Adam Schefter.
Yes.
Friendship is back.
Yes.
Adam
friendship back
Schefter
on.
sent us a very lovely assortment of cookies.
Did you get yours, Hank? I gave him your address. Damn. You did move. But yeah,
It's
PFT and I got them.
Beautiful. I had a dark chocolate and peanut butter cookie last night.
Do you know what they tasted like? They tasted like I want to defend Schefter when
Oh,
he tweets something stupid.
They-
That's what they tasted like.
100%. Like we are now firmly in his pocket.
Yeah, like he got me cookies. I love cookies. Next time he does something dumb, I'm going to be thinking of cookies. Schefter not dumb.
Yeah.
Great guy. Cookies.
Yeah, Florio.
It worked.
Florio is so mad right
oh,
now.
Florio, dude, send us something.
Yeah, come on, Mike.
You just sent us your fucking book.
Yeah.
You tried to make us read.
That actually makes us like you less.
Yeah,
Mike.
way less. Yeah, send us a gift. I want.
Bribe me.
We are open for bribes.
I'm basically FIFA.
Yeah, we are officially open for bribes at all times. Jake has just entered. He was doing the coaches meetings for the Barstool Arizona Bowl, which, give us a recap. How'd it go? Who'd you talk to? Oh no.
Are you nervous?
He's having a problem. We also just talked about the Dolphins having a point differential of 1.
Yeah.
Yeah, not great.
Not great.
Did you give them the same treatment as the Vikings?
Well, no, that's how I brought it up. I was
Yeah.
like, we do talk about the Vikings like that. What should we say about these Miami Dolphins? Because those Miami Dolphins would stomp the shit out of the Vikings. These Miami Dolphins might lose to the Packers.
Vikings fans will get very upset at you because the Vikings beat the Dolphins, even though it was Skylar Thompson.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
Well, that's because
they're gonna be like, we beat the Dolphins.
That's because there's no Tua.
But no,
Skylar Thompson.
The meetings were great. Both teams were very excited for the Arizona Bowl happening on next Friday, December 30th, 4:30 Eastern time. Let's go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've seen Jake. He is prepped. He's prepping so hard. He just has the roster sheets in front of him at all times.
Yep.
So you feel confident? Who sounded more confident?
Both. I mean, I don't know. I really didn't get a vibe there. I think it's awkward because it's not a normal game week, right? They usually have their 5-day warm-ups, and here it's like there's 15 days to kill.
Yeah.
So it's a little bit different.
Isn't the blizzard fucking up Wyoming?
Yeah, I think Brandon said he was stuck out there.
Yeah. Also, shout out the Wyoming social team. They did fastest 2 minutes.
They've been doing spin-offs of like
It's been
tons
awesome.
of Barstool
Yeah.
segments.
I love
so
it.
there's a lot of excitement.
They're fully embracing it, so it's
Yeah.
gonna be hard. I mean, I love Maction, but
I know.
anyone. We were just talking about bribes. If you just start basically sucking our dick publicly on Twitter, it's going to be hard for me not to root for Wyoming.
Yeah, we're very, very easy to get to.
Yeah, we'll prep. I'm sure we'll talk about the game next week when we're out there, but there's tons of great storylines.
You know
Okay.
what? Like
Yeah.
schools should just give us honorary degrees, and then we will
Yes.
say nothing but good things
Yes.
about your football,
Purdue,
basketball
looking at you.
program.
Purdue, give me
Well-
a fucking science degree.
I tweeted out that Wyoming's without their top 4 running backs, so people were like, "Does Billy still have eligibility?"
Ooh,
Oh.
Billy. Oh man, could you imagine if if we bought a bowl game and one of the stipulations was you have to roster at least 5 content employees?
Dude, Frank the Tank at fullback.
How incredible. Dude, fullback, nose guard. If he just fucking leans on him,
Yeah.
he'd take up space. Billy, what do you think your stat line would be?
At running back,
Yeah.
I think if you threw me in on some short yard stuff, I might be able to
You might be
figure
able to
something
get it.
out.
God
but
damn it, I would love to see that.
Now Billy's training for the mascot game in a couple years.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That's true. Bloopy, you're getting fucked
Did
up.
you see Bluefer come at Billy?
Yeah.
He comes at everyone. The guy's
Yeah.
addicted to violence on Twitter. It's disgusting.
It's bad. Elon should take care of that.
He just came at me because I did shave for advisors, and I took one picture that made my mustache look good, and then I took a picture with Andrew Whitworth, and they posted it, and I have 4 chins. 4 chins. You want to look at the picture and give me? Yep, Hank's looking at it right now. Hank, you can't talk. You're too much of a coward to shave your beard.
No, Hank's
I
getting,
won't say anything. I won't say that you look really fat then.
Okay,
Hank's getting slim.
Hank, I could give you one of my chins. You need one?
Chin-
I'll give
Yeah,
you one.
you got 6 to spare.
Oh my God! Right there it is.
It's like when
give it to me.
It's like when people give their family members a kidney transplant because they match up to make you feel better. Yeah, this would be like the first cross podcast
Yeah,
chin
I
transplant.
have more than enough to spare. Everyone can get a chin. I'm like Oprah. You get a chin. You get a chin. You get a chin. Because that was a bad picture of me, and it's not. I was worried about that. I had like a moment where I said to myself, "Ooh, I don't look so bad with my face shaved," and then that happened. I was like, "Yup, I look just as bad as I thought I did because I am fat." But you know what? It's bulking season right now.
Get big.
I've just been eating candy bars every night for the last like 3 weeks, and it's a problem.
Get big. It's mass.
big
You got to. It's hibernation season.
Yeah, jumpsuit January. I'm gonna.
Are you actually going to do jumpsuit January?
I will do
'Cause
jumpsuit January.
I'm very excited about jumpsuit January. I was thinking about that last week because I bought myself a new jumpsuit, and I get very excited at the start of jumpsuit January.
I'm gonna be consistent with what I've been saying. I'm gonna wear jumpsuits when I want to wear jumpsuits because jumpsuit January is about being comfortable.
Yeah, it's
So if I don't wear one day, it's just because I needed to wear something else and I'm not comfortable.
I'm always comfortable wearing jumpsuits. If it were up to me, I would never wear anything but jumpsuits on the outside.
think
If
I
it's
need to-
below a certain degree, it's like I've got 2 seasons. There's sweatpants season, then there's short season.
Yeah.
and that's it. So January, I'm pumped, man. I'm
All
very
right, I'll
excited.
buy some new jumpsuits. Yeah, I just always have the problem with I lose everything in my pockets all January long.
Yeah, that's why you get the one with zippers on it.
Yeah, I know.
Get zippers. You can also put a fanny pack in there. Or I've noticed a lot of people wearing like the over-the-shoulder
Fanny
chest
pack.
strap.
Yep.
That's like a new
Yep.
thing.
The
That's
Louis,
coming.
the Louis bag.
Yeah.
So
I might get a
send us-
Louis bag.
Send us some jumpsuits, people.
Yeah, that's
Back
actually
open for business.
So we were saying, like, if you want to bribe us to root for your school, give us an honorary degree. That's a good way to do it. But maybe a cheaper, more financially sound way to do it would just be to like send us a bunch of your jumpsuits that you have laying around.
Yes, I'm in for it. What else we got? Any other cleanup for Sunday?
Yeah. There's Max, Jalen Hurts.
Oh yeah,
There was a moment on Monday afternoon where the line swung drastically towards the Dallas Cowboys.
That was-
and I checked Twitter, and the first thing I saw on Twitter was some guy saying that Jalen Hurts had a broken collarbone and would be out for the season. That guy, I think, had just bought a blue check mark.
Oh my
I don't
God,
think that
did
guy
that
was
scare
legit.
me.
It was scary, and there were a lot of people talking about what's going to happen. Then Shefty reported that he's got a sprained shoulder. We don't know which shoulder is it. Is it the throwing or the non-throwing? 'Cause
non-throwing
I saw
shoulder.
both.
It's the non-throwing.
Are
shoulder.
we sure? Because I saw both.
He also played the
Not
whole
throwing.
fourth
He's
quarter
fine.
and was throwing.
He had better.
bombs.
He had better numbers with the sprained shoulder than he did before it. It's fine.
I do kind of think that it's the Eagles being like, well, the Cowboys just lost. We have to win one game for the rest. Like, I think that if this game, if the Cowboys hadn't lost the Jaguars, I think Jalen Hurts would be playing in this game. That's what I feel like. It's one of those situations. Why potentially having to maybe play them a third time in the playoffs? Why give them anything? Take care of business against the Saints the week after. Let Jalen Hurts get healthy if he's just a little dinged up. And also, Gardner Minshew is going to win this game.
Yeah, this is the perfect Gardner Minshew game.
It's
Christmas
the-
Eve.
Mike Leach
Leach just passed away. Gardner Minshew's the perfect backup quarterback to come in, win one game. He's gonna be so fired up. Like Gardner Minshew gets me fired up. I
Yes.
feel like I'm more excited. I feel like when they show the dad in the stands when Brock Purdy was watching, like his dad was watching him play last weekend.
Yep.
When Gardner does something good in an NFL game, I feel like I'm the father on the
Yes.
sideline, just like crying out of just pure testosterone.
Facts. Max, I did task you with something before I left yesterday because I was freaking out. I saw the news. I was like, oh my God, he broke his collarbone. This is like everything. I need this future to hit to get even this year. Max, I told you. What did I tell you? Do you want to tell everyone what I told you?
That I had to become an expert on shoulder injuries.
Yep. And so what did you find?
Put the camera on yourself, Max.
I said that he has to learn. I said, take these 24 hours, drop everything, and basically go to medical school for shoulder injuries.
The number one thing I looked up right after you told me this was past quarterbacks with shoulder injuries.
Okay.
And I would like you to guess the first quarterback.
Drew Brees.
Incorrect. Ben Roethlisberger.
Oh, okay.
Ben Roethlisberger was the first one that came
Drew
up.
Brees was ribs. Yeah.
It's fine. It's a sprained shoulder. People sprain their shoulders all the time.
What's the
1 to 3 weeks?
1 to 3 weeks?
1 to 3 weeks. Take the 3 weeks. Give you the fourth. Take the bye from the first week of the playoffs.
What about Rust? Now we got a Rust situation.
Yeah, now we have a Rust.
Now we got a big time Rust situation.
We're gonna have a Rust situation, but it's fine. His that's the main thing. The main thing now is that he threw a 68-yard dime to A.J. Brown after the injury occurred.
That's true.
So
It's adrenaline,
If
though.
so facto, that's
adrenaline.
No.
The way
There's
you-
no adrenaline against the Bears.
What?
No
Whoa!
adrenaline against the Bears.
Whoa.
Have you seen The Revenant?
0.0.
And you're a
0.0.
dirty team.
Well,
and
that's-
dirty team.
I said that this Bears-Eagles game was going to fuck me some way, and I didn't think it was going to be this after the fact. I thought that we were fine, and then I see all this happen. The way you say it's fine makes
Fine.
me so much more nervous.
This is just how I talk about the Eagles for anything.
It is
Well,
true.
say it
You-
again.
You get a tinge of
Fine.
anger.
It's
Yeah.
fine.
You don't
It's
sound
fine.
fine.
Well,
Yeah.
I have another thing. I have one more thing.
A shoulder
I'm
thing?
sick of.
Oh.
No, this is just a Jalen Hurts thing. I'm sick of people online getting all pissed off that Jalen Hurts runs. Because that's the number one thing is that, oh, this is what happens when you have a running quarterback. They're just going to get hurt. They're just going to get hurt. That's what makes Jalen Hurts good. Jalen Hurts is good because he can throw the ball and because he can run. And if you don't run, then you don't get the good parts of Jalen Hurts. So I'm sick of people getting mad about that.
That's a fact because the Eagles' offense is dynamic partly because of his running ability.
Correct.
And what he's able to do with his feet.
Correct.
So you can't just be like, well, don't run. Okay, that's a totally different offense.
Agreed.
Okay.
That's
so
the one thing. That's the one thing I had to add.
I
Okay,
like that
here's one
addition.
thing I'll add.
And it's fine. And also I want to add for Max.
It's fine.
It's
and
fine.
It's fine.
Here's one thing I'll add. There was one play that scared Jordan Mailata yesterday when he's watching Jalen Hurts, or on Sunday, he's watching his quarterback run all game. There's only one play that scared him. He just laid there, Mailata said. I ran over and said, stay down. He said, pick me the fuck up. And I said, yes, sir. And just picked him back up, and he went back in the game and kept playing. I think Jalen Hurts, you'd rather have a sprain than you would have a labrum or a rotator cuff.
No, that's the thing. The thing when they say it's a sprain, that encompasses all the ligaments of the shoulder. Whereas, like, if you sprain your ankle, there's certain ligaments they think if it's high or low. Sprain's like a little too gray.
Billy.
It could be like an AC joint.
Billy.
Billy. Sound like JOC.
Billy, why don't you pull up a seat? Let me take you in medical school real quick, Billy. The labrum is not a tendon. The labrum is not a ligament. The labrum is a protective thing that's around your socket joint. The labrum, if you have a labrum injury, that will keep popping out and dislocating it until you get it surgically repaired. That's what Andrew Luck had. That's what Drew Brees had. Now
That's what I have.
That's what Jake has. That's what I had in this shoulder and currently still do in this shoulder.
I also have it.
Okay, so
But
then you should know that that's not no.
Yeah, you're going after the terminology.
No,
but
Billy,
it's
you're talking about
general-
AC joint. He's got an AC joint.
Yeah, well, yeah, it could be any of those.
He's got an AC joint which could heal itself. It could get back to being healthy enough to play in the course of the next couple weeks. If it's a labrum, then it's going to be just bad news for the rest of the
It's confirmed
year.
AC joint.
There we
Confirmed?
Yeah.
Confirmed?
Confirmed by the tweets that I saw.
go. By me. And by me too. By
And
me
by
right
you.
now.
I
And
will
by PFG.
triple
It
confirm.
could also be like a rotator cuff thing, which isn't.
But
a
it's the
total-
AC joint.
Rotator cuff is muscles. Those are muscular tears.
Right, but that's all encompasses that sprain umbrella term.
Maybe when you say, I think you just interchange
saying-
the
I'm
word
just saying, like-
sprain with boo boo.
or stinger.
Yeah,
Like
stinger.
people say stinger, and it's like, what the fuck does that mean? It's like,
Or-
oh, it's a sprain, but like it could be like something's totally torn.
You're saying that you're just using it like the term nicked up, or he's just banged up. He's shaken up. He's got
shaken
cobwebs.
I'm just saying, like it does, like sprain makes it sound a lot more bad than it is.
So I think we've established that Billy does not know the shoulder.
I don't know shoulder.
No, we have a
I don't
shoulder
know
doctor
shoulder.
here. His name is Max.
Billy, you don't know ball and socket.
Yeah, sure.
That's a fact. Also, coming out of that game, Justin Fields said to reporters today, I just felt a 300-pound guy come on my back.
Hey yo,
That was a real quote.
pause.
Pause.
Fucking A.
Fucking a man.
Resume.
Fucking a man. That's just how it goes sometimes.
Yeah. Be like that.
It do be like that.
It do be
sometimes.
like that.
Yeah.
It absolutely do be like that. All right. Let's do some hot seat cool throwing, and then we'll get to our interview with Andrew Whitworth. It's brought to you by our friends at Skrill. Need a faster way to pay and play online? Today's episode is sponsored by Skrill, the digital wallet built for betting. Never heard of Skrill? Here are 3 reasons why you should open a Skrill account today. Skrill is fast. Instantly deposit your favorite online casino, sportsbook, or gaming site using only your Skrill login. Withdraw your winnings quickly when ready to cash out. Skrill won't let transaction limits get in the way of a good time. If you're a high roller, enjoy instant, secure access to your bankroll without limits stopping your payments from going through. Skrill is no one-trick pony. You can send money to other players, trade crypto, or withdraw your balance as cash with their prepaid card, all while earning loyalty points you can exchange for rewards. So, what are you waiting for? Go to Skrill.com/Barstool. Sign up for free. Again, Skrill.com/Barstool. Sign up for free. Hank.
I have a couple hot seats, if that's all right.
Hank, you can do as many or as little as you want.
Awesome. My first one is Willie McGinnis.
Yeah.
Okay,
Recurring guest.
let's talk
Willie
about
McGinnis.
that.
Hits keep coming for Patriots.
Or by the Patriots.
By the Patriots, yeah, depending on how you look at it. Video, apparently it was a couple months ago when it happened. It came out right after the Patriots game, so it seemed like it was like a reaction to the loss. But it was a video from a few months ago.
Timing was interesting. You're right.
Oh, it was from a few months ago?
Yeah, it was in L.A.
Illegal hands to the face by
Of
Willie.
him and 3 guys just beating the fuck out of someone in a restaurant. At one point, he took out a wine bottle and was like hitting the guy in the head with it. Not a good look for Willie.
No. No, it wasn't. I don't know what happened before that incident. Certainly seemed like they were all very upset with this one particular gentleman for some reason. And they let him know that.
It felt like he did something very... I'm not victim shaming. Felt like that guy did something very bad to have Willie McGinnis and all those guys come and jump him in the middle of a restaurant. Willie's wrong, but I would love to get the backstory. And shout out that guy for having an iron jaw.
Yeah.
The fact that he was standing at the end of that was incredible. Absolutely incredible.
But yeah, he started hitting him with the bottle and it kind of snuck the bottle away like no one was going to see it. It was like, dude, the whole thing's on camera.
He was hitting him, like multiple times in the face with the bottle. Underhanded, right?
Yeah.
He was doing like an underhanded wine bottle hit, which I haven't seen before. And then I think after the third hit, he realized what he was doing, and he just like calmly laid the bottle on the chair, walked away. What, Billy?
In his defense, it was an Italian restaurant.
So there's just wine bottles everywhere. They shouldn't have put the wine bottles out.
No, that like sometimes that happens in like mob movies.
That's true.
Probably
In
thought it
mob
was just like,
movies,
yeah.
You're right.
Oh, so no, Billy's society is to blame.
Yes.
Yeah.
For putting these notions of violence about what happens inside Italian restaurants into people's brains.
Yes.
Like you remember what happened to Billy Batts?
Exactly.
That's fact.
So you walk into a bar and you just kind of go back into that zone.
Yeah, tough look for Willie. My other hot seat is Tom Izzo.
Oh. Okay.
Is he overrated?
He is overrated, but I'm curious to see where you guys stand on this. I feel like I know, but a video came out of him eating popcorn and dropping a popcorn on the floor and then just picking it up and continuing to eat it.
That's fine. That's
I
actually
just sent it if you guys want to.
that's a
Deliberate.
perfectly normal thing. I don't even abide by the 5-second rule when it comes to popcorn. Are they outside? Because if they're outside, that's
No, it's in a gym.
that's fine.
Okay, Tom Izzo eating popcorn, dropping it, totally fine.
Yeah, it's completely
I do
fine.
this all the time.
It actually gives more seasoning to
I would
popcorn.
the majority of my meals are off the ground. So, no, totally fine. Fair play by Tom Izzo.
If it was a sidewalk, then I'd have a conversation.
Mm-hmm. He's fine. Good job, Tom Izzo.
Oh, wait a second.
What?
I'm an idiot.
What?
Videos from 2017.
Oh,
you got got?
you got duped.
What was the reason they had
Yeah,
to
but it's
just
going
put it
around
out?
right now.
Yeah, it's going around. I don't know why it's going around
Did
now.
Michigan State just lose?
I'm not really sure. I saw it last night. I saw it a couple times.
Because you might be getting Willie McGinnis on this
So
one
he's
here.
definitely not in the hot seat. Okay, my bad. Cool throne is Messi.
Yes.
He put up a picture of World Cup holding the trophy and stuff, and it became the most liked post on social media ever.
Whoa.
Yeah.
66 million likes or something.
It beat out, what was it, that egg?
Oh, I thought it was going to be the
Ellen
one with Ellen and Kevin Spacey.
That was Twitter.
Yeah, that was Twitter.
It was it was bigger. There was a TikTok. Some random girl at a TikTok with 60 million likes.
Holy shit.
It's more than that. And there was Salt Bay invaded the field after and was trying to
That
clout
was my
chase and
hot
take
seat,
pictures
yeah.
with everyone. And Messi saw him and literally just ignored him.
It was the worst. Salt Bay is a fucking douchebag. Not really breaking news, but
It's not even Argentine. I thought he was
he's
at
Turkish.
least
Turkish.
yeah.
could you imagine the biggest moment of someone's life and you're trying to grab them by the elbow to be like, come take a picture with me?
Like pouring salt on the trophy.
Oh,
No, it
brutal.
was like when Papa John grabbed Peyton Manning after
Yeah.
the Super Bowl. That's the World Cup version of this. Or I was actually saying it was like if Guy Fieri came up to Patrick Mahomes after he just won the Super Bowl MVP and Patrick Mahomes gave him the cold shoulder, which would never happen because Guy Fieri's a legend.
Yes, facts. Okay. Good job.
Thanks.
Good
Thank
job.
you. Appreciate it.
PFT.
My hot seat is Kansas City superfans because I've become quickly obsessed with this story. And I've done a lot of reading about it. Now, we've had our fair share of run-ins with Kansas City superfans on this podcast. Actually, this is a serious subject. It's law, so I'm going to take the glasses off.
Okay.
Lawyer PFT's coming out.
Okay.
We had X Factor on
Yep.
the podcast a
Yep.
couple years ago to discuss his trials and tribulations.
So, is there any way that you? Oh,
Are you
Be
okay?
careful. Be careful.
I heard
all
that
right?
rib. Did
Uh-oh.
you hear the rib?
That might have been a tooth.
There's another super fan in Kansas City named Chief Saholic. Mm-hmm. Chief Saholic, he has been mentioned on the show before.
Sounds like he's addicted to the Chiefs.
He is addicted. He's got a Chiefs problem.
Yeah.
But he's been on this podcast before. We've talked about him on the show. He's the guy that wears the entire wolf suit to
Yep.
the games with the GoPro on top. So he goes home and he rewatches the games from his GoPro angle. We've talked about it on the show before. He goes to every single away game and every single road game. He did not show up for the game in Houston. on Sunday.
He goes to every road game.
Every road game, and he live tweets his adventures about going to the games. He's also a big grind set guy, so he'll be like, I just got a job managing 2 more warehouses. I'm only 24. How do I do it? Dedication to hard work and always staying on that grind. You too can accomplish things.
That's sick. So he's independently wealthy.
He's independently wealthy,
Wow.
and he's been able to attend all these Chiefs games.
That's a lot of money, PFT.
It's a lot of money. And you know what? He didn't show up for this game in Houston. And everybody's like, wait, where's Chiefsaholic? He's supposed to be at the tailgate. He does hype videos before every game where he just puts on his wolf suit and he sprints up to the camera with a flag and goes like, let's go Chiefs. Everybody, you've probably seen them before.
Yep.
They're legendary. So he did not show up. Chiefs Twitter went into a panic trying to find out where Chiefsaholic was.
Okay.
Because he's always at these games. Turns out Chiefsaholic, on his way down to Houston, stopped in Bixby, Oklahoma real quick, as one does, robbed a bank, got caught, and now he's in, I believe, federal prison awaiting sentencing.
Uh-oh.
And so he's on $200,000 bail right now, and the speculation is that he's been going around the country to every Chiefs game, and on his way he drives to all of them, and that he's been robbing banks to fund his lifestyle on the road attending these Chiefs games.
Uh-oh.
And so then I started looking back on his Twitter timeline. He's been spending a lot of money recently, not just on Chiefs games. He's contributed a ton of money to Patrick Mahomes and his charity, going to his gala, purchasing paintings of Patrick Mahomes.
That's some good money washing.
Some good money washing. So Chiefs fans are all trying to figure out what's going on. It's crazy because this guy had rivalries against the other Kansas City super fans that were there. Some people are saying that this guy was robbing banks wearing the wolf costume. That's not true. It was a different bank robber that was wearing wolf costume.
That's the perfect crime.
That could be the perfect crime. I was saying that X Factor, the other Chiefs fan, he's probably behind this whole thing. It stinks to high heaven.
It does.
He probably bought a wolf costume, wore it to rob a bank just to frame Chiefsaholic.
I mean, this whole story is just so perfect. I love NFL super fans. I especially love NFL super fans that spend their evenings robbing banks.
Yeah.
Like, that's just the perfect story. Like, the guy's a Chiefsaholic, and it's expensive to go to every single Chiefs game. Why not rob a bank on the way there? You're always on the move.
Yeah.
You're never really in one place. Tough to track. Imagine them uncovering this too, where they just like pull up the Chiefs schedule from the last 10 years.
Yeah.
And they're like, okay, road game in Miami. There was a robbery in Alabama. Like, there was just going through the entire list.
I would not be
where he was.
I wouldn't be surprised if it was like a Las Vegas Raiders message board poster that uncovered all this and then sent that information to the FBI being like, I think I've got your guy.
That's
so
a good theory.
So he's in prison right now. I plan on fading the Chiefs until they release Chiefsaholic from prison.
Yeah.
Because like if you look at the last 7 years, he's been robbing banks going to these games, allegedly.
7 straight.
7 straight division championships for the Kansas City Chiefs. He's behind bars. That's not good. I love the Kansas City fans in general. Like their super fan drama that we've just started to scratch the surface of. Mm-hmm. Feels like it is like a Breaking Bad type series.
It's quite a
waiting
place
to be uncovered. So I did one more step of research. So not only do we have X Factor with everything that he went through legally last year, but we've got this Chiefsaholic guy. Also, there's another guy that got banned from going to Chiefs games because he had a fatwa put on him because he might have been involved in the 1993 World Trade Center bombing.
Whoa.
So this dude, Wahad Moharram, he was the helmet man, is what he called himself. He would airbrush his face to be a Kansas City Chiefs helmet. And he was suspected to be involved in the 1993 bombing. He actually ended up testifying against the Blind Sheikh and Abdul Amina, the guys that did the World Trade Center bombing. They put him in witness protection program, sent him to Kansas City. He couldn't keep his mouth shut, and he became a giant super fan and would attend all these games being like, look at me. And then somebody saw him and was like, wait a second. The fucking Islamic Republic of Iran is out to kill this guy, and he's just sitting up in the 400 section every game. So the Chiefs took away all his shit.
This is the same thing as, remember when we were talking about when the Indians were making their run, they went to the World Series, they were really good, and we're like, there's too much of a spotlight on the Indians, they're going to have to change their name.
Yeah.
This is the verbal meme, like, you're going to win 7 straight division titles, and at what cost? literally all your super fans are going to get exposed for criminal behavior.
Yeah, this dude was literally on a terrorist watch list.
Jesus.
And he was one of their super
Chiefs
fans.
fans are wild.
I have no choice but to respect it.
Yeah.
Like
They go hard. They go hard.
There's another side of the coin where you can bribe us and we will be kind to you. The other side of that coin is if we're just terrified of you, we will just be very nice to you.
Yes.
So I think I'm now scared of Chiefs fans to the point where best fans in football.
Yeah.
I'll just say it. Best fans in
Most
football.
hardcore fans in football.
Yeah.
That's a fact.
Yeah, most intimidating fans in football from a violent standpoint.
Yes, absolutely. Wow. Chiefs fans.
So we'll see what
Way to
happens
go.
with Chiefsaholic. But,
Yeah.
I guess he's probably
What a story.
going to be in prison for a long time.
I would love to watch a documentary about all the Chiefs fans.
Yeah.
Like, just break them all down. And then you got a cool throne?
Oh yeah, sorry, that took a lot out of me right there. My cool throne is Ohio University.
Okay.
So they are in the Arizona Bowl, and I've been told from several people that they are supposed to be like the biggest party school in the country. I don't know if this is one of those things where every state has a school like that, and if you go to school around it, you just say, "Oh, we are like." Playboy said we were ranked number 1 as a party school or whatever.
Right. Always.
But I've heard from several people, they swear that it's true. I'm going to be down there at the Barstool Bowl with all these guys. We're going to be doing a pregame show. And for the pregame show, we want to see the people, like the Van Wilders of Ohio. So if you go to Ohio and you think that you are the biggest party guy there or party girl there, send us a video. Tag part of my take in the video. And send it to us and tell us why you think that you're a big party person. Why Ohio deserves this label as being the best party school in the world. And we're going to go through them on the pregame show, and we're going to see if that's actually true or not.
Love it. Love it.
Send it in.
So excited for this bowl. So excited for this bowl. All right, my hot seat was Salt Bay, so way to go, Hank. Also, my chins. My cool throne is our GOAT on this podcast, Cale Makar, best player in hockey. Did you see the clip last night? That
was my cool throne.
Yeah,
sportsmanship. Yeah.
They called a tripping against I think it was Barzal from the Islanders, and Cale Makar went up to the ref and was like, "No, I fell down." And they took the tripping off. They didn't call it.
He did the thing from the commercial where he goes, "Coach, I hit the ball out."
Yeah. He literally was tripped, or he wasn't tripped. It was like a little bit of contact.
Yeah.
Had a flat tire, fell down, and then immediately was like, "No, I fell down on my own," and they were like, no penalty.
You think Ronaldo would ever do something like that?
Nope, absolutely not. Hank, are you ready to come to the good side?
Yeah.
You're a messy guy now.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we don't accept
I don't think
you,
we should.
So
Yeah.
You
That was
keep
a-
sucking off Ronnie.
I like the Instagram post, though.
Yeah. No, you keep fucking dreaming about Ronnie in his short shorts and winning nothing. Absolutely nothing.
Hank, you've been doing this
tough
show
time to
for
get
long
on
enough
board.
where you should have seen that coming
Yeah.
right there. That was pretty
Yeah.
obvious.
Should've. Yeah. What were you saying?
Is this Wi-Fi?
What?
No,
Oh, okay.
Makar, he's the guy that went to what?
Yeah.
Three,
No.
4 straight Stanley Cups. Three
Oh,
straight?
No. Cale Makar is the defenseman for the Avalanche.
Okay.
Who's like an insane player who scores goals, who's a great defenseman. He's like a just absolute beast of a hockey player.
Wi-Fi he's on the Canadiens.
Oh, yeah.
Les
Yeah.
Habitants.
No, Cale Makar is, if you want to sound like a real puckhead, when people are like Connor McDavid's the best, like, no, Cale Makar, he does everything. Yeah, really get some street cred out there.
Bobby Orr.
He's an insane player. Go ahead, Billy.
My hot seat is NIL rules. So there's a new a new incoming freshman for FIU called Rowdy Beers, who has a really good NIL name. Thing is, under NIL rules, he cannot have any alcohol sponsors of any sort until he's 21
Yeah.
because of recent updates to the rules. So is it going to change for this momentous occasion, or you have lobbyists pushing?
I think you have to
NIL
have
rules?
Rowdy Beer be able to.
The Rowdy Beers
Yeah,
law.
I mean,
Yeah.
it's if your name's Rowdy
Or
Beer.
non-alcoholic beer you could partner with.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think he just has to, like, you have to just let that happen, right? Like, that's one of those ones, if we had a working government that made sense, they would just be like, hey, the guy's name is Rowdy Beer.
I saw some of his social media posts. He seems like a big God guy, like very straight edge almost. There's no chance that if your name's Rowdy Beers that you make it to 21 without drinking, right?
No.
You have to.
I mean,
that's spitting in God's face.
Your
if
father's name is Beers.
Yes.
He's definitely, is it beer or beers? Be so sick
I
of
think
this.
it's Beers.
It's Beers.
Beers?
It's
Yes.
Dana's cousin.
Hell yes.
Well, no, that's what he should
Dana's-
do.
yeah,
Dana
Dana's
should
cousin.
Dana should just sponsor him.
Yeah. Yeah.
And just pay him. Just be like, this is my mascot.
Yeah, Dana
Rowdy
should,
Beers.
Dana should sponsor him, so Rowdy Beers just promotes Dana's Instagram and Twitter, and then Dana obviously promotes drinking.
Yeah, Dana's crushing beer. This post brought to you by Rowdy Beers.
Yeah, right.
And that takes the place of Zillion Beers.
Someone did send me a picture. This just sucks for Dana because he's made a brand and he's got to stick with it. But someone sent me a picture of Dana Beers drinking a water at a bar.
Oh God,
Yeah,
that's tough.
and I was like, oh man, delete this.
That's real tough.
It's just such a hilarious thing for someone to see Dana Beers in the wild and be like, what? He's drinking water? What the fuck? This guy. All right, cool throne.
Cool throwing is veteran pranks on rookies. So Drake Jackson was out to dinner with the other guys on the 49ers, and he got the check at the end of the night as a rookie. He was like, okay, I'm going to pay it. It was a $322,000 tab, which, after a little fun and games from the veterans, turns out was fake. They had given him a fake rookie check for like $250,000 for one dinner. It
Yeah.
wasn't actually that much. It was $7,500. Eric Armstead cleared that up on Twitter, but that's a pretty hilarious prank.
Yes.
It was a good prank, and
Yes.
some people got really mad at it.
Yeah.
And
They always
it was
do, yeah.
pretty obvious that they weren't going to stick a rookie with $200,000 like that.
And they
They
also
should have.
it was $7,500 and they split it amongst them, but they were hitting him with like, let's get it. Turns out the waitress really racked it up. They said like make it like super high, like over 10K. And they
What-
did, like,
What
crazy.
number, if we went out to dinner and we made you stick with it, what would you like in Billy football terms? If it was $800, would you be like, what the fuck, guys? I gotta
I
sell a kidney?
$800 I'd take, but I would be doing something for rent.
Yeah. Okay,
Yeah,
so we
go
should
on.
do that. 1,000. We should take Billy out. Maybe play credit card roulette.
But Billy's also lying about this because the real line that he has is if we're doing dinner on Sunday and we say, okay, everybody do dinner separately.
Yeah.
Then Billy pretty much
Yeah, that's
threatens to
true.
quit.
Yeah, that's true. Like when we're like
if he
everyone.
just doesn't get a free dinner, then he quits.
Yeah, the worst thing for Billy is when he texts like on a Thursday night and when I go home and then I come back and I'm like, I ate at home. And he's like, oh no. Does this mean we're all on our own for dinner?
So what am I supposed to do?
Yeah.
I've
what
cleared
the
up my
fuck?
broke boy ways recently.
Oh, have you?
I haven't texted for dinner on Sunday night in a while.
But
Think about it.
you do hover. You
I
start
hover.
You start hovering around 6 p.m.
Because in football season, we know like dinner's gonna happen.
Yeah. Just waiting for dinner.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's like we should actually do it as a test. Like if we just stopped doing dinners on Sunday, would Billy show up? Maybe not. Be tough. Yeah, you'd show up. You'd show up. That's fair. You'd show up. But the dinner is nice. No, what was it last week? Oh, when we got our Chinese order and it was like, is this too much? Billy's like, I'll just take it home. It's like, that's a fucking team player
Yeah.
right there. That's
job,
a team
Billy.
Guy. Yeah, we need that. That's a fucking stand-up dude. All right, Jake.
My hot seat is Chris Paul. So Pat Bev, our colleague, he did a 6 spin move layup against Chris Paul, and he did like the too small thing, and they were down by 26.
Oh, okay.
Let's see.
Oh, too small.
I
like that,
I hate
Pat
that
Bev.
It was
celebration.
70
Oh.
to 46.
Yeah,
I hate-
I understand why you hate it.
I
but
hate that
I
celebration.
like that just because Pat Bev's like,
People,
you know, the
tall
whole-
people think they're so much better. They're born on third base, think they hit a triple.
Keep that same energy. Pat Bev always does. Like it doesn't matter. Down by 25, up by 25. Keep that
Yeah.
same energy. Oh, he'll bring that same energy. By the way, I didn't even mention. I'm guess I'm back conversing with Kevin Durant because he called me a prick.
Oh,
I haven't been
yeah.
called a prick in a long time. You prick, he said.
Prick's a
Yeah.
good one.
Yeah,
So
it is always just great.
Back on the radar, maybe.
Well, it's always great to just tell an athlete like the real reason you have your job is because of fans like us.
Yeah, and
You
the
be playing
media.
in a parking
And
lot.
don't forget the
Yeah,
media.
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, Pat, did you see what Russillo did on his most recent podcast?
What?
This is a great spin zone by Russillo. He said, is Messi the Chris Paul of soccer? So he's just saying, like, Chris Paul's the GOAT, just wait.
Yeah, just wait.
Just wait. He's going to get one at the end, and then you'll all laugh. You'll
Yeah.
all see.
Just wait. I'm sure this year will be different.
Yep.
Yeah.
My cool throne, live golfers. It looks like they will be eligible for the Masters.
Oh, hell
They
yes.
released a statement saying we don't support, or they said like there's a separate, here it is. Regrettably, recent actions have divided men's professional golf by diminishing the virtues of the game and the meaningful legacies of those who built. Although we are disappointed in these developments, our focus is to honor the tradition of bringing together a preeminent field of golfers this coming April. So
Wow. I love it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's good for golf. It's good for golf.
It's gonna make for some awkward groupings.
Brooks back at Augusta. Need him to win it.
Yeah.
Has he won a Masters?
He has not won a Masters.
What,
no
US,
green jacket.
2 U.S. Opens, 2 PGAs?
That sounds right.
I want to say.
Yeah, sounds right. But I'm excited about this too. The PGA Tour kind of overplayed their hand at the start of all
Big
this
time.
by saying we're not going to let anybody compete. All that did was draw more attention to the Live Tour that was leaving. And the Live Tour, it also seems like they've done a great job at drawing a lot of people to look at where their money comes from and to be like, hey, that's fucked up. It doesn't seem like, when I think of Saudi Arabia, I don't think that most people have a more favorable opinion of their leadership because of the Live Tour over the last couple of years, right?
No, definitely not. Also, this is great news because it's just more people that Charlie Woods can kick their ass.
That's true.
Like, he will just dominate more people. So
Is he eligible?
He should be. I'll say it. Charlie Woods could win the Masters right now if he wanted to.
Is there a way that
They let him in, he could win it.
you know how Rory McIlroy's dad bet on him when he was like 12 years old, being like, at one point this kid is going to win a major championship? Can we do that with Charlie Woods somewhere?
Ooh,
Like an all-time future.
I would like
Will
that.
Charlie Woods win a major? I would say
Yes, hammer.
absolutely
Multiple.
over 1.5
Yeah,
majors
over
for Charlie
12 and a
Woods.
half.
Over whatever his dad ends up at.
Yep.
Just bet on him to be better than Tiger.
Charlie Woods is going to be the greatest. He's next up.
Yep.
We've always said that on this podcast.
He's now.
He is now.
He's him.
He's truly him.
Yeah.
All right, let's get to Andrew Whitworth. And then we have Chad Henne on the other side. One question with the quarterback. Okay, we now welcome on our recurring guest, good friend, Super Bowl champion since the last time we talked to him. It is Andrew Whitworth in studio. A little bit better than sitting than squeezing into that van that we had you in at training camp a few years ago, I would say, right?
No doubt. I got plenty of space on the couch. The van was a tight squeeze.
It was-
We got real friendly and close quickly. That's
Yes.
for sure.
Kind of the purpose behind it. You get comfortable getting uncomfortable real quick.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah, and so you're here in New York City because you are part of the Thursday night football crew on Amazon Prime. You're doing the Jags-Jets game on Thursday night. I'll start there. You look at the schedule in, let's say, first week of September, and you're like, oh, no, Jags-Jets, week 16, got to go to New York. And now it's like it's actually a great game that has huge implications. Did you ever, like, I never saw this coming. I'd have to imagine you were dreading this game, and now it's like this is the best game we've had in a while.
No doubt about it. I think when you really looked at the schedule, you look at that one and you go, oh, man, in between, Niners, Seahawks, Cowboys, Titans, like, oh, man, we got to go to New York. This probably won't be a very good game. And you probably thought, man, I wish we could have had the Monday night game, Packers-Rams. That's going to be an amazing game. And you look at like those two records compared to what you think of this game. It's crazy how we never know when we go into a season who the teams are really going to be that you're looking to watch.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you made a pretty good transition, I'd say, into NFL media. I know at the start everybody was like, are you coming back? Are the Cowboys calling you? That whole thing. You had to learn real quick the tampering rules and like what it's like being on the other side of it. But I think that it's been a pretty good transition. You're a big time hoodie guy. You had to like start out making a statement, be like, yeah, I'm a hoodie guy. I'm going to be a hoodie guy. That's kind of your thing that you've got right now. Was that something that you consciously made a decision of? You're like, I'm not going to wear a tie on set.
I've always been a guy that like just wore a hoodie. I mean, when I work out and train, I've always got like I cut the sleeves off. I always got like a hoodie sleeve, sleeveless shirt, a sweatshirt or t-shirt on, and I wear a hoodie to everything. Basically, when I work out, when I train, and when I go to dinners and stuff, I loved wearing sweaters like a hoodie, and sometimes like some kind of just fun jacket, not necessarily a sports coat like what we wear. And so I was just wearing it, and when we were talking about what I was going to wear on set, they're like, "Dude, that looks actually really good on you. Why don't you do it the first week?" And I did it, and it created like it's like you have 10 people that say it's awesome, and like 6 people who are like, you should die because you're wearing a hoodie on TV. So every
Show some
week it's
respect
like
for
that.
the yeah.
You don't respect the game of football. You're wearing a hooded sweatshirt.
I never understood why everyone gets in suits. It's like, be comfortable, be yourself, and you are yourself.
Yeah, I mean, people forget we walk into work every day in basketball shorts and a t-shirt.
Right.
Like, it's not some professional job where I always thought when I put a tie and a suit on, like, this is fake. Like,
right.
This is not who I am. I don't know anything about business. I'm not some business guy. I'm going to go ram heads with somebody in the next 30 minutes.
Yeah.
But I'm rocking a tie.
Yeah. So you mentioned the Rams-Packers game that we watched last night. I don't know how to phrase this because I don't want you to hurt anyone's feelings in the Rams organization, but how happy are you that you retired? That was the greatest retirement of all time. You retired with a Super Bowl, and then the next year, everything fell apart for the Rams.
Yeah, it's been unbelievable. The injury stuff and just everything with them. It's historic, right? I mean, it's never been happened in NFL history that really the loss of injury they've had in the offensive line, everything else. But, yeah, I will say it does make the transition a little easier to be sitting there watching that game and going, all right, it could be 15 degrees. You're trying to play in a game that's probably meaningless to walk away in your career that way. I mean, that would have been an exhausting way to go out. So I definitely don't want to undo anything from last year.
Yeah, I mean, it was incredible. And now, if you had lost the Super Bowl, would you have come back?
No, I
Really?
decided, kind of in January that, I mean, there was a multitude of reasons, right? Like, at the time, really, some of the young guys that I'd been mentoring that were behind me, their contracts were ending. Joseph Noteboom, some of those guys, Brian Allen. And so it was like they're going to have to decide what to do with them. I had already kind of somewhat taken a pay cut to stay one more year, and I had made kind of commitment when I moved from Cincinnati to the Rams. It was like, hey, if the money's not what I think justifies what I give to this organization and how I play, then I'm not going to continue doing this. And so I knew going into that season that we've started to go the opposite direction, and I'd kind of given in to be there, and I wasn't going to do that again. And so I knew the writing was on the wall that this was going to be a really tough offseason where, yeah, maybe you can force your hand into them trying to give you another contract. But I didn't feel like that was going to be the way to go. So I'd kind of decided when we made the playoffs, I told my wife, Melissa, like, hey, this is the last ride. Let's just put everything into this and see what happens.
It's
so
perfect
crazy.
ending.
Yeah,
Perfect
unbelievable.
ending.
Well, what about let's put our cards on the table here. We've got 2 weeks left really before the end of this year. We get the playoffs starting up in January. If a team goes down a left tackle and they say, "Hey, Andrew, I've got $15 million for you to suit up for a playoff stretch." Let's just say hypothetically it's the Lions. We hope it's not the Lions because we like both their tackles. But if the Lions are getting into the playoffs and they're like, we need some help on the offensive line, are you picking up that call?
Oh, man. Y'all going to get me beat up when I get back to the hotel by my wife. But you know what? I might pick that call.
Ooh.
No. Here's the thing.
That's a truthful answer
It'd be
right
very,
there.
It'd be very selfish. But when I actually ended my career, we did the research on it. I'm pretty sure Jeff Saturday is the winningest offensive lineman in NFL history, won the most games starting of any offensive lineman. And I think I finished like one game or 2 games behind him.
It. Yeah, but
So
he
the
should count
only
as a
thing
coach.
I've actually thought about like during this whole time is I'm like, dang, would you want to go try to get that record? Just because it takes a lot to get there, right? Like, one, you got to have health, and then 2, you got to play on winning franchises for a long time to be able to get there. So it's not like it's something that's going to come up every year somebody's going to beat. So, that's the only one that still kind of sits there, and I'm like, man, it'd be fun to go be a part of that. But I don't think so. I'm enjoying what I do.
Well, so Tom Brady calls you in round 1 of the playoffs. You're playing against the Cowboys. You know he's going to win that game. He's never lost against the Cowboys. It's like Mr. 3000 with Bernie Mac.
Find the one win.
Hey, you know what? Amazon's done December 29th. So technically, I'd have a week to go join a team, get in shape, I don't think so, though.
What about I have a dumb rule that I've had as something that we should adopt in sports. It's been an idea for, 5 years now. I've always thought that every college football team and basketball team should get one alumni that gets to play for they get eligibility. So like if Tom Brady retires from the Bucs, he can go play for Michigan for a year. If that rule existed, would you play?
1,000%.
Really?
I went to the LSU. I'd been to a college game in forever, at least LSU game. I went to LSU Bama this year.
Incredible.
Oh, man. It was an unbelievable game. Such a cool experience to be down there. I was jacked up. I hadn't heard Colin Baton Rouge and pregame in so long. I was ready to run through a wall all over again. And I would take an opportunity to go play in a college football game.
Yeah.
Oh, man. I would do that over anything. That would be so much fun.
Don't you think that rule should exist? Like, why not?
That'd be awesome.
Everyone gets one because, like, think about it was based on Tebow. Like, Tebow didn't make it in the NFL after a few years. How great would it be if he was able to just play at Florida for another 10 years?
Oh, dude.
It would
now
make sports a lot more fun.
with the contracts at that level. It's no different. I mean, we're playing professional sports, so
Yeah.
I'll do you one better. There should be an alumni game every year for every college. So every NFL player could go back, you play in one game, and it's a rivalry game. So it would be like Alabama versus LSU. And you sell tickets. You
instead of the spring game, have an
instead of
alumni
spring
game.
Alumni game.
Oh, dude.
You give all the money to the
Old
players to
Timers
like get
Day,
them
yeah.
back in there. Oh my God, that would be.
Yeah, I'm thinking of my
most
time.
intense game
Antoine
ever.
Odom, David Pollock. I mean, there was all kinds. Alex Brown. There'd be some legends right there just getting a chance to go at it at 48 or something. It'd be awesome.
Yeah,
That'd be fun.
we had Taylor Decker on the show a couple weeks ago, and he was saying that the thing he was best at was cheating. He's really good at false starting, but getting away with it. He goes on like
He's quick.
the H and hike is when he gets out of his set. So for you, I've always heard that every good offensive lineman is good at getting away with something in particular. Mark Schlereth is always like, I was good at peeing myself and holding people. That's kind of what he did. What about you? What was your thing where you like danced on the borderline of playing inside the rule book, but enough to the point where you had an advantage?
Oh man, I said screw the borderline. I just literally it's the outside wrap of the hands. I'd put the clamps on the outside arms. I'd always grab the outside of your arms or the outside of the pads and just hold you in that clamp right there. That was it. I mean, I would clamp you down, just almost like a little jiu-jitsu technique of putting the clamps on people to where they have to fight against that pressure. I was a world-class holder. The first thing I see Pete Carroll the other night, Niners Seahawks. I go up to say what's up to him, and it's Herb Street and Al Michaels sitting out there talking to him. I walk up, and he's like, "Oh my God!" I turned this guy in the refs forever. Every time I've ever played him, I've screamed for them to call holding on this guy. They never do it. They like him too much.
Yeah.
And I said, look, I made friends with the refs.
Yep.
And you know what? I put the clamps. It's all. Hey, I don't mind saying it. I held people for a living. Guess what? If you're an offensive lineman, you got to become a world-class holder. That's your job, right? We're basically really high-paid bouncers. That's literally all we are. Okay, figure out how to hold people.
You're a very nice guy and a very soft-spoken guy. I would imagine that sometimes it would make like a small difference in the eyes of an official that has gotten to know you over the course of the past 10 years. They're like, he's not cheating.
He's not holding.
That's Andrew. Come on.
Yeah.
Listen, they're
Nice
doing
guy.
their best job, but they're people like anybody else, right? Hey, man, that was a great call over there on the edge, man. You saw that one, man. That was a good job. You got the flag out fast. Hey, man, that was a great call. You know, you always want to bring attention to those things. Or if there's a fight, you want to be the first guy in there, like, oh, hey, ref, I got you, man.
Yeah.
I'll split them up for you, man. You don't worry about it, okay? I got them. You separate. You know, you got to be on top of those things,
Smart.
man. It's the hustle, baby. You got to know how to hustle.
It's smart.
Yeah. So in covering the league now, what would you say is best offensive line right now? Because it always is great. I know the Eagles get thrown out there, but is there anyone else maybe off? What we know is obvious right now that you see like ascending, that watch out for them in the playoffs because their offensive line plays so well.
I think it's one of those things we keep talking about the weapons, and you brought him up. I mean, the Lions group. I mean, people keep talking about, Jared Goff's playing his best and the weapons they have offensively and all these things, but, they also just played a Jets defense that's been getting after people, and they didn't touch Jared. I mean, no sacks, barely hit him at all. Like, you look at that is one of the reasons they're winning. I mean, giving Jared Goff time in the pocket, and he's never been a guy who's able to do much after the play, right? If it breaks down, he's not a guy that's going to like run for a bunch of yards or create after the play, but you give him that initial time to sit back there and feel comfortable. He's always been great at throwing the football. So I think the way they run it, the way they can pass protect, that group doesn't get talked about enough, in my opinion, just because of the team's record. But how they've protected and how they've run the football all year, they're a really good group. But obviously there's the Eagles, there's the Browns, there's a lot of good groups, but I think they're one that's not getting enough credit for how well they're playing.
It's a very good point, and it's definitely why Jared's playing so well right now, or part of the reason why. We talk about your Super Bowl, incredible ending. What was your worst game ever played?
Worst game ever played. I'm going to go – I got probably in my career, I mean, one of them I was injured, so I'm not going to give it the kind of the nod.
Yeah.
My worst game that I felt like I ever played was my rookie year. We play in Indianapolis. Peyton Manning and the Colts actually won the Super Bowl that year. We were playing them on Monday Night Football for them to lock up, I think, their division, and we were trying to get a playoff spot. We had to win one of our last three. And in pregame warmups, our Pro Bowl right tackle, Willie Anderson, hurts his foot. And all week long it had been, hey, our rookie left tackle is going against Dwight Freeney. We're going to have to slide to him, help him the whole game. And I was excited about having help against Dwight Freeney at that time. And he gets hurt in pregame, and we had to move our left guard to right tackle. And it was like, all right, look, guys, whatever way we call it, we're just going to slide to whoever it is the protection's at. And I'm like, oh, boy. And we got down 2 or 3 scores early, and it became just a bloodbath. It was like the ugliest film I've ever watched. I mean, I'm just holding on for dear life every play. You talk about holding. I'm jumping in the air just holding this guy like a 3-year-old seeing their dad for the first time. I mean, I'm just jumping on him with everything I got, trying to clamp legs, feet, arms, hold him to the ground. He gave me a good lesson as a rookie that game. I found out real quick that you better be ready for anything in this league.
Yeah. That's a good – I mean, it's always like it's got to suck so bad.
Well, and he was such an unorthodox guy. He was smaller in stature, so fast off the ball. I don't know if a lot of people remember the Jonathan Ogden game that he had such a special game against, what a tremendous player. But that's how he was. If he could get off the ball on you, and they had a lot of pass situations, that spin move was so rare. I mean, nobody in this league has ever been able to replicate him and the ability he had to spin on you. It was just such a tough move that if you haven't faced it, you didn't know how to stop it until you got used to it. And he was tremendous at it.
Was there one guy that was like just stronger than all the rest? You knew after you played against this dude.
Well, I got to play in the AFC North for 11 years against Terrell Suggs and James Harrison. So one thing I actually felt good about when I faced strong players or physical rushers, that was like, all right, I can relax, because nobody was a better test each and every week than playing James Harrison twice a year and Terrell Suggs. I used to tell people, like, James was like the type of guy, it was, guys set up rushes. James sets up like, I'm going to see how many times I can hit you as hard as I can hit you and make you basically cower down to that kind of contact throughout the game. I mean, there'd be plays where the ball's been gone. You'd go back and watch film. You're like, dude, the ball was thrown a half a second ago. Like, why did he come hit me? But that was his mentality. Like, I'm just going to bull the crap out of you every play, regardless of whether the ball's there or not, because I want to, like, create you to be like, man, I'm tired of this guy hitting me.
Would you, like, check Instagram the week before you were playing against the Steelers and James Harrison is like, I don't know, throwing a giant dog over a volleyball net or whatever weird exercise.
Dude, he played with us for 1 year. We get in at like Monday mornings. It's 5 a.m. I'd go in the facility at like 6 o'clock. This dude's been there since 5. And you walk in there and ours had all glasses. You walk in the facility, you could see the weight room. And he's got 6-7 plates just hitting 600 pounds on squat at 5:30 in the morning on a Monday after a game. And you're just like, what in the world is going on? Like, I barely want to get up and down out of a couch, much less put 600 pounds on my back. This is just moving weight.
By the way, I looked up the stats from that Monday Night Football game. Dwight Freeney had 3 sacks, 3 forced fumbles, and 2 QB hits as well. So
let's get back to the Super Bowl. So we won the Super Bowl last year.
Like, holy shit, he had a day.
Let's talk about the Super Bowl, but let's talk about the other Super Bowl. Coming back from that one, from the loss, was that tough to actually get up for the next season? Did that take you? Or,
you know what?
Were you
I
motivated in the offseason?
Opposite. I thought I was like, that was as fired up as I've ever been. I thought really from that year until this year winning the Super Bowl, it's like the most locked in I've been in my career, because for whatever reason, it's almost like tasting it a little bit and just being there and be like, wow, okay, how big that stage was. The opportunity to get back there, man, would be out of this world. And so you were willing to do whatever to get back in that seat again. And plus we knew we kind of had a window with the talent we had to make another run. And so I think that was like the most locked in I've ever been in my career after that. It was obviously heartbreaking, but that's actually why I continued. I remember getting asked after the game, like, are you going to retire or whatever now that you at least made the Super Bowl even though you lost? And, I mean, I never even had a half a thought about retiring because I was so fueled up to, like, get going. We actually landed from Atlanta. We fly back the next day. We land in Atlanta, and I put on headphones and started working out in the facility when everybody was, like, getting their cars leaving. I'll never forget this. And, like, walking around the field, I was kind of doing some stride stuff like you'd normally do on a Monday after a game. Just kind of like getting my mind right. I was like, dude, I'm locked in. I'm going now. Like, I'm not taking a break. I'm not being off. I'm going straight to training.
So that year, you went to LSU from Louisiana. Do you want to apologize to Saints fans? Because we had the idea that I think it was a couple weeks ago. We're like, there's like 1 or 2 Saints fans that are still sitting there being like, they're going to reverse this call and they're going to play this again, like 4 years later. So do you want to apologize?
Well, here's the thing. I still have trouble crossing the border there because as soon as I get there, it's like, hey, man, you did a lot of great things for LSU, but you go screw yourself because you played for the Rams. Like, it's like, listen, guys, they paid me to play there. I had nothing to do with the call. Like, you can be as mad as – I mean, literally, we were, like having to, like, hold on to friendships after this. Like, people are like, hey, listen, we've been your friends for 20 years, but you went to the championship instead of the Saints, so, like, we can no longer be your friend again.
Right.
And
like,
now
it's that serious.
That's fair.
And now you work for the NFL, which is their other big enemy.
Oh, man.
Exactly. So
Yeah.
I'm just
You're
enemy
on the
number
shit
one.
list.
Dude, look.
So apologize.
Hey, listen, I'm sorry that you went through the experience of not getting the call that you wanted. Not sorry that we went to the Super Bowl.
I'm sorry your feelings got hurt.
Yeah,
that's
sorry for your feelings. That's it. I apologize to your feelings.
You know he was there early, though, right? Like, you can admit that.
What did you say in the locker room after? You guys like, holy shit, how'd we get away with that one?
I mean, listen, you're talking to an offensive lineman. We hold every play.
Yeah.
So, like, when you're talking about getting away with a call,
That's fair.
85% of pass plays, O-linemen are like, did I get away with it?
Right.
Yes. All right, awesome play. Like, you hold all the time. There's always you're in a hand-to-hand combat. Like, the whole concept of holding is actually kind of crazy if you think about it. Like, you are literally fighting some guy, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh, a jersey pulled, now you held.
Yeah.
It's like we're in hand-to-hand combat. I don't know if I held or not, but I'm going to turn around and find out by the ref, right? So we're used to it. So when I saw a no call, I'm like, hey, I love no calls.
Yeah.
That's my favorite thing in the world. That's why I
boys
never
play.
complain about anything a D lineman does. He puts his hands in my face, and you'll never hear me say a word because
Yeah.
I love no calls.
Yeah.
What about the Todd Gurley episode where he went down instead of scoring a touchdown? You remember that? Were you in the huddle for that one?
Yeah. You talking about the
Did he
Lions?
say he was going to do that?
Did he-
I think
did-
it was the Packers.
Pat, well, he did it twice.
Yeah, he did
Lions, he
twice.
did it on the 1 yard line. He had like a long where he ran like across the field and got down. And then Packers. Yeah, no, that was our plan. It was y'all know the situation.
Yeah,
I
we
mean,
know,
yeah,
we know
that
the
fucks
situation
everyone over.
very
You
well.
know that,
do we know what
right?
it's called?
It was
What is it called?
Fuck everybody watching at home.
Yeah.
You guys will love us. It's called Rolex.
Oh God. That's a
damn
that's a
it.
McVay term, isn't it?
God damn
Of course
it.
it is.
And
Of
his
course,
stupid beard.
Little pretty
called
boy
it, he
hair
called
gel.
it Rolex because it's time matters. So he'd
Oh,
send the
God.
play in and be like, hey, it's a Rolex situation,
Oh, my
guys. So
God.
you got to get down.
Yeah, let's screw everyone who had the over. That's
it.
what you did.
Yeah, the Rolex.
Was it weird when McVay showed up the first, when he got hired and you're there and you're like, I'm older than you? Was he trying to be? I think we actually talked to him about it, that like at first he was maybe trying a little too hard to be like, I'm everyone's boss, and then realized like some guys are just going to be older than me.
Yeah, I think at first he didn't know how exactly to approach those relationships. Like, I think for him, it's always been like just, y'all know what he is. He's just so passionate and locked into what he's about and those kind of things that I think, you're 30 years old. You've literally the most like highest seat you've had. You've been an offensive coordinator. Like, you've never been like in charge of an entire building and place and all that, right? He had no idea how to be. So it's just, hey, I'm trying to form relationships and fill myself out as a leader of like the entire building. And I think that's some things that people lose when you talk about head coaches. Like, most of these guys have never sat in that seat before ever in their life. They've either come up as an assistant coach, an offense coordinator. Only a few have been a college coach and come to that seat. Mm-hmm. So it's like they don't have no idea. They're still trying to figure out who they are as a coach, but we live in a nature now, whether it be quarterbacks, coaches. It's like, man, you better do it right at the beginning or you're done. Like,
Right.
we're getting rid of you fast.
Right. Yeah, no, it is always interesting. I mean, it's something we talk about because we, cover, like, talking about the league always is like that moment where you can lose the locker room. Even like a Dan Campbell this year, 1-6. I said it on this podcast, like, if they keep losing, like, it might be over here. So can you sense in the locker room when a coach's message is just starting to not really resonate with the guys and it just doesn't hit the same way?
Yeah, and I think what you start to see, and I think Sean has been so good at this in his career, is you start to see that you are like, in where you're going with things, you're not really feeling the empathy of the room you're in charge of. And I think the guys that are really good, if you've molded guys and you've led guys a certain way, that empathy, like, you're like, all right, I see where the team's at and where they're going and what I need to say, regardless of whether you 100% believe it.
Yep.
You look at the Zach Wilson situation, like, the reality is that was like a situation where he didn't feel like, hey, dude, could you not feel this entire locker room feels like, hey, man, you got to play better for us, and you like missed a moment to like, just even if you don't agree with it,
Right.
I just
Right.
need to be better. Bottom line, I need to be better, and we can't leave the defense in that situation. And that's really one of those moments where it's like, you can't miss those as a leader, as somebody who wants to be really good in the league, as a head coach. You can't miss the moments to be exactly what your locker room needs you to say, not necessarily what you think is the right thing to say.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a good point. Like that time that you have where you can nail it and be like, I need to say what everyone needs to hear at this moment.
Yeah, and I may 100% not agree with it.
Right, that's a good point.
I get the feeling like players like Zach Wilson, they if they go through some bad times with the media, they start to hate the media, right? So what Zach was saying in that moment, I think inside his own head was like a big fuck you to the media
Yes.
for asking me that question. It might not have been what he felt was the truth if he were to talk to the guys in his locker room.
Yep.
But he was kind of saying, he was delivering that message to the reporters in that room that he does not like, or he's frustrated with at that period of time. Are there players that you've talked to or that you've been around that have maybe expressed to you the importance of like, this can be a good relationship with the media? Because, I mean, look at you right now, you're out of the league. You're working for the NFL Network. You're doing a great job, but you might not have had that opportunity if you hadn't been friendly to the media during your time as a player.
Yeah, I think learning how to do what you're saying, put things in where they are. And the reality is, like, hey, I play this game. This game is brought about by fans being interested in the game, people betting on games, people following the game. And where do they get a lot of their information? From the media. The media drives what the fans know, what people know out there. And so you got to come to, like, hey, I have this job. I get this opportunity because of the people who help follow this game and create the buzz that I want. I get the benefit of being this high-profile player. I get these marketing deals, media deals, whatever it may be, from those relationships, and also because of those people existing. So I think sometimes you can get caught up in those moments, and it's tough. After a game you've lost in a heated battle, people have to remember these dudes are warriors. Like, they're going out there battling, and you're hot-headed, you're tired, you're exhausted, you're mad, you're frustrated yourself, and sometimes your words come out frustrated at the people asking you the questions, and you're really just mad at you, and you're mad that you even have to answer the question because you put yourself in this situation.
Right.
And I think that sometimes you forget that and you answer it about your anger towards yourself and towards the fact that they even are asking you that, and you don't have time to step away and go, hey, wait a minute, am I really in a fight with this person? Like, that, all they're doing is trying to write an article.
Right.
Like, that's not who I'm going to fight with, right? And I think you just got to learn who you take that anger out on. And I think some people are better than others. I think we get mad when a Belichick or a Brady or these are short and don't really say anything, right? But I think that's probably how they've learned to go, this is the only way I can not put myself in a situation that makes me lose the locker room or lose people's opinion to me. I just need to step away, and when I'm in a better headspace, I'll be back to say what I need to say.
Yeah.
Did you ever have a moment in your career where you gave an answer and you're like, you walked off and the PR person was maybe like, hey, that one was stupid?
Yeah, I think I've kind of gone, like, you're a little hot-headed with an answer.
Yeah.
Now, I mean, something like owning something like that, I think that, no. I mean, I think I've always been one that's like, I'm going to be the hardest on myself anyway. So maybe more times it might have been like, hey, just don't jump on the sword completely. Like, you don't have to say you and the offensive line suck today.
Right.
You could just say, hey, we should have been better in some
Yeah,
situations.
yeah.
Like, because sometimes you can do that. You can bash yourself and your group, and then all of a sudden you create a narrative on yourself because you're in there just jumping all over, being like, just blame us for everything, and it's like, all right, that's a little too much.
Yeah,
those type of things.
That's a good point. So your first year without football in, I don't know, what is it, 35 years? I mean, when did you, like, since you started, let's say college and pro, it's 25 years that you're
easy. Yeah.
A full season that you get to sit on the couch. We have a debate whenever we have players on who are recently retired. What's harder, playing in the NFL or watching the NFL?
Well, here's what I'll say. Taking this job with Amazon, being a part of NFL on Prime, like, it has been really cool for me because I would say the last 6 years of my career, it's like I kind of played everybody. There wasn't a lot of new rushers that I'm having to face. Like, I'd played most people I've played. So, like, film study and things, like, as far as what my job is, was pretty easy. But now, like, getting to, like, reinvest into the whole game, the whole picture, the quarterbacks, the defenses, the coverages, stunts, blitzes, everything that's going on, GM decisions, coaches' decisions, it's been, like, invigorating to me. Every Sunday, I watch every single game. I'm trying to figure out a way I can, like, on my phone, on my computer, on the TV, watch everything I can and just digest as much as I can of the game. So for me, it's been out of this world exciting to watch the game. I've loved it.
Harder?
I think it's easier to watch the game.
I
It's
don't
so
know.
much
Answer.
fun. It's fun.
Have you ever
Wrong
been?
answer.
Have you ever been like laying on your couch for 3 hours, 45 minutes? Maybe your legs asleep. Then your TV, it flashes on the screen like, are you still watching?
Mm-hmm.
This box will be set to idle if you don't do something, and then you can't find the remote in your room.
Yeah,
that's
and then
tough.
I also realized that when you fill up the table with all the food, like, if you're going to be the only one that's going to sit there the whole time, you're going to end up eating all of
yeah.
it. So I think
yeah.
I'll tell you what's harder: stay in shape and watch games.
Okay.
Because it's
Meeting
awful.
halfway here.
Yeah, I think
I
think I've lost 30 pounds of muscle and gained 30 pounds of fat, so it's just kind of neutral.
Right.
I feel good about it. I mean, it's even.
What about, like, let's just say you go 0 for 4 in the first slate, 1 o'clock slate. You forget that the game you really love is at 4:05. You miss to bet it, and then you go another, like, 0 for 2 in the afternoon. That's harder than playing in the NFL.
Yeah, and here's the worst part about it. There's nothing you can do about it. Like, if
Right.
I play bad in a game, I
Yeah.
go out Monday, I'm working my butt off. Like, I'm getting, hey, I'm going to do extra conditioning. I'm going to extra film. I'm going to push myself harder in the weight room. When you go 0 for 6 betting, all you got to do is be mad at yourself till the next week and then just second guess every decision that you ever possibly made and what you believe in what, right?
So
and
it's
one
harder.
thing I've learned, too, is all the statistics. You're like,
Yeah.
I'm reading all these stats. I'm trying to decide who's winning, and then I go with the team that I think the stats say is going to win. And
No,
it's
stats are for for losers
Yep.
and cowards. Mike
100%.
Ditka said that.
Stats for losers.
Yeah.
Number never won a Super Bowl.
I agree.
That's
In fact,
a fact.
it's men.
Trust your eyes.
Just guys.
What about when you said you actually did say that you got triggered by the word the data says?
Yes.
Was that about player safety or was that about?
Yeah, I just love it. Like when we're talking about, all right, just specific to turf, right? Like when we say the word data says, like who gave you the data? Because the only people who actually play on the surface, right? It's not some like, there's not other people that are experiencing what does the surface do to them other than the players. So if the players hate playing on the turf, that's the only data that actually really exists, right? So because everything else is, well, these many injuries have happened here, blah, blah, blah. Like, I don't think that's really what the argument is. The argument is I know that after I play a game on turf, I feel awful for 3 or 4 days. Your knees, your joints, your body, like you just feel terrible. Getting ready to play the next week is harder. Like we already talk about the rebound time in the NFL to play in these big battles every week. So you just feel terrible. Whereas when I play on grass, there is a drastic difference. How I
Really?
wake up the next day, like just my body in general, like how I can work out, how I can train. It's night and day different.
That's crazy because I think what we've all just assumed is the technology they've used with the turf has made it so good that that doesn't happen anymore. But you can really, really feel it.
Oh,
the
there's no
difference
doubt.
between the
Trainers
two.
know it. I mean, if you go to NFL, if you went to every NFL trainer, and you just went to those guys alone, like the head trainer, and you said, "How do your guys feel playing on turf versus grass?" He'd be like, "Oh, there's a difference." These
That's
guys,
crazy.
There's no doubt.
We're
they
grass
know that.
guys, by the way.
Oh,
We
big
have
time.
your back.
Yeah,
Yeah.
big time.
Yeah.
Safer
We're
field.
Now,
taking-
I'm not like, hey, I'm not blaming turf for things. I'm just telling you that if NFL players want to play on grass, then that's what we should be playing on. If I'm playing in the PGA Open, like we're not worried about what like public is going to do with the golf course next Friday. So we're going to be worried about what surface, how we're going to cut the grass. We're going to make the grass on the greens for PGA Tour players to have their best performance, right? So it's like no matter what sport you're talking about, it's all about the player experience. But in the NFL, it's about, we want to have tours, and what about concerts, and what about other things that want to
Yeah.
come here? And it's like,
Yeah.
wait a minute. All we're talking about is what the players want to play on.
Yeah, it would basically be like if the NBA was like, we're going to play on hard top.
Yeah.
And like,
Hey, we've
it
decided
looks
concrete.
Cooler. Yeah, it looks cooler. We're going to play on concrete. And
We don't have to have as many towel wipers
Yeah, right.
if we go on concrete.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Yeah, I think the field turf it works in theory and it's better than AstroTurf. I think that's
Yes.
kind of what they thought. They're like, how do we make artificial surface that's not just concrete that you're landing on all the time? They came up with the answer in field turf, and then everyone kind of went along with that because it seemed like a nice happy medium between it. But it's about 50-50 in terms of fields in the NFL, right? There might be like one more or two more maybe artificial turfs. We should just do a study and look at injuries of teams that play the majority of their games on field turf.
wait, but he's saying don't do that because the data doesn't matter.
But I'm saying like wait,
It's just whatever they should feel.
But if yeah, okay, that
because I think
I
there's
agree with that.
injuries,
That's fair,
and
but
that's kind of my point. Their data only shows injuries.
so it,
Right.
it
All right,
doesn't
but what
show
about like, hey,
being
dude,
nicked
this
up.
dude who's if you're an older player, the inflammation you're gathering playing on concrete, like I always tell people, all right, just go run on concrete for a while and then like go on some soft surface and bounce around. Like you're gonna feel totally different. You go on grass and jog around, and you go on concrete and jog around. There's a night and day difference in how your body's gonna feel. That's
Yeah.
just a fact.
I mean, I agree with you. We are team grass.
We are big time.
I
Team
think
grass, I love it.
You would only find probably kickers like the turf, and that's about it.
Yeah, they better footing. So yeah, they're probably like it, and more likely, it usually means they're either indoors or in a better situation with turf. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
they probably like it.
You guys remember when you had the lightning delay indoors?
Yes, I do.
That was
craziest
weird.
thing
That's
I've
very
ever
weird.
experienced.
Did-
I'm like, what's going on? I can't be struck by lightning, but we can't play right now. I don't know what's happening.
Did you know that could happen when they were building that stadium, that like $1 billion stadium? It's like, wait, well, it's technically not indoors.
No, it's not indoors. We found that out fast because the very first time we did a scrimmage in there, it was 90-something degrees outside in L.A., and we go in there and realize, like, man, we're playing in a greenhouse. Like, it was
Holy
it was
shit.
like being in a sauna in there because it's just holding the heat in, but you're not actually outdoors, so you're not getting breeze or any of that in there. I mean, I think we were dying that day, and everybody's like, wait a minute, that's not what I was thinking. Like, it was going to be cool, like an indoor.
Yeah.
And it was not at all. It was hot. And that place actually gets really warm. Super Bowl was warm. There's a lot of big games in there. When they're played at the right time of day, it's hot in there.
Yeah.
Did you get a chance to watch the halftime show at all? I know the Bengals kicker watched it.
The Bengals kicker did watch it.
Yeah.
I did not get to watch it. I did afterwards, though. Obviously, I've seen all the playbacks of it. In sayings, that's obviously my era of, like, the music that I
it was
grew up.
great.
So that was sick.
Yeah. All right. So I had one last question. It's a rowback question. Promo code TAKE, 20% off your first purchase. Q-Zips, polos, hoodies, joggers, everything at rhoback.com. Promo code TAKE for 20% off. my last question I'm going to give to Billy. Billy
Ooh,
Football
let's do it.
has a question.
Billy, let's go.
Billy's questions.
The other games you've given up 3 sacks. Thanks. Let's do it.
Yeah. What were the other ones off the top of your head?
Elvis Dumerville. Anyways, go ahead. Move on.
When Ryan Fitzpatrick on the night of the white Bengal uniforms made that comment, how fast did you distance yourself from that?
you say?
I think Sherm actually pulled my chair towards him really fast. I don't know if you ever watch Sherm, like constantly is like in my rib cage with elbows, punches, with the funny things that people say. But yes, he pulled me close. And you know what's wild is he actually had said the comment during like our rehearsals.
What was the comment again?
So it was
Billy
we were
can say it
wearing
if
the
you
all
want.
white unis.
Yeah.
The Bengals were wearing the all white unis, and obviously Ryan and I both played for the Bengals. And so Carissa had touched on what a special night it was because the Bengals are wearing their all white uniforms, and Ryan was like, and we were a pair of white Bengals at one time. So it was like, what? But that's Fitz. He's hilarious, and dude,
He's a great dude.
He is awesome. It's been so much fun to be back around each other after we played together for a couple years in Cincinnati. So
Yeah.
that was a fantastic line.
Does he ever try to use like big Harvard words, try to like intimidate everybody with his knowledge?
Oh man, all the time. The guy's just so smart, And the thing is like most of his jokes are awesome. It's just I have to get him to kind of explain to me what the words mean that made it funny sometimes. But I mean, look, the guy's always going to have a couple buttons down, chest hair out,
Yep.
beard. I watched Richard Sherman shave his neckline this year. I mean, we're really tight on our group. I mean, obviously we're shaving necklines. I'm gonna try and maybe one of them will shave my back here soon. I don't know.
like that.
We're a close group.
Yeah. Oh, I forgot one real quick last question. How nice is Andy Dalton?
Dude, he's the Red Rifle's one of the kindest dudes ever.
Nicest
man.
dude ever, right?
Yeah, no doubt.
Agreed.
Agreed.
Yeah. I mean, he's just a nice guy.
He is.
Like, really nice guy. We've had him on the show. He went in the van. Nice guy.
Yeah, I think it'd actually be a challenge to see if you can make Andy Dalton say something mean.
Wouldn't be able to do it.
I wonder if it's possible.
Nope. Wouldn't be able to do it. Nicest guy in the world.
Very nice guy. Well, him and Blake Bortles.
Yeah.
Who you also played for. Who's nicer, Blake or Andy?
You know what? That one's a tough one. I think Andy would probably be harder to get to say something mean because Bortles will let it out every now and then. He'll let it rip with you. He'll light one up and have a good time. So Bortles is my guy. I love that dude.
I mean, like, he's our best friend.
Oh, dude,
like,
he's
actually,
the bomb.
He's not really friends with you. He's friends with us. Not to make it a competition, but he's our best friend.
Yeah, I listen, I don't doubt it. One time I was with him in camp and literally driving somewhere, and I'm seeing him like looking out the windows both. I'm like, dude, what are you looking for? Like, we're going to dinner, and he's like, oh, I'm just trying to find somebody that could grab a pack so I can light up when we get out of here. I'm like, this guy's already thinking about a cigarette. He ain't even had a drink yet.
Well, when we stayed at Jared's house, and Blake came over, and he told the greatest story probably in the podcast history that he bought a Tesla because he was trying to quit dip. So he didn't have to go to the gas station anymore. And then he was like, I didn't quit dip. I just bought the Tesla.
Just plugged in the address to the gas station. Just drive me there.
He's like, I figured that's the best way to quit is just never have to go to the gas station anymore.
That's fantastic.
It's a nice $200,000 car to quit dip. But yeah,
Legend.
He's the best. But yeah, check out Andrew Whitworth. Thursday night, Jags-Jets. Going to be an awesome game. Very excited for this game. The whole crew. You guys done an amazing job all year on Amazon Prime, and we really appreciate you stopping by, man.
Hey, I appreciate it, man. Always fun. Much better, much more comfortable than the van, for
Yes.
sure.
It's a little nicer.
Big time.
Andrew Whitworth was brought to you by Amazon Alexa. Listening to Audible on Alexa is the perfect hands-free companion when you're cooking, cleaning, or relaxing this holiday season. You can ask Alexa to read your book, change narration speed, and even get a book recommendation from her. Families find listening on Alexa a great connection time to listen to holiday classics, and Audible also recently launched Alexa in the Audible app, giving you hands-free navigation and discovery in the existing app. If you want to listen to Fear the Wolf by James Patterson, just say, Alexa, read Fear the Wolf. There's also an Audible Alexa discovery option. Alexa customers can simply use their voice to discover new books or navigate with an existing listen. If you're looking for your next book, just say, Alexa, recommend me an audiobook. If you miss something while listening, simply ask, Alexa, go back 30 seconds. If you enjoy listening at a faster pace, simply ask, Alexa, read faster. Alexa customers can listen to James Patterson's new Power Family football thriller, Fear the Wolf. That sounds awesome. James Patterson has a new Power Family football thriller, Fear the Wolf. Just say, Alexa, read Fear the Wolf. Now available for free on Alexa. Offer only available in the United States. And now here's Chad Henne.
Okay, we are doing one question with a quarterback. Very special guest. It is Kansas City Chiefs quarterback, the most famous Kansas City Chiefs quarterback right now, Chad Henne. Chad, thank you for joining us. One question with the quarterback. I think you know how it works. We all get one question, then you get a question back to us. I'll start. I got to know, how has it been recently having the name Chad? Do you think Chads they're getting a bad rap right now?
I don't know. I mean, if you go back a few weeks ago, I think Chad Powers has taken us over. I mean, with Eli Manning coming back and, trying out again, it's pretty impressive. Chad Powers is on the roll. I mean, I think we get the douchebag
Yes.
kind of persona, but I think we're still rolling.
Okay. All right. Chads are doing well. I have a follow-up, but I'm not allowed to ask it. So, but Chads are still going strong.
I was gonna say, like, Chad. It seems like a diet Chad might be a Blake, and you played with the Blakest Blake of them all. Two-time Blake of the Year champion.
Yeah.
Blake Bortles. You played with him down in Jacksonville. We're just going around the last couple days with these guests here that we've had on, telling and sharing our favorite Blake Bortles stories. So, what is your favorite Blake Bortles story?
Oh, man, there's so many. I think that one that comes to mind is, I don't know what year it was, if it was 2015, 2016. Obviously, we're out of the playoffs. So Blake on Super Bowl Sunday is like, let's go play some golf. And I was like, all right, no problem, 10 a.m., meet you at the course. Of course, we get too messed up. We're drinking 15 beers, maybe 3 or 4 minis. I'm like, shit. I call my wife. I'm like, how about my wife makes us like some Super Bowl get up, a little food, little drink. And this is my daughter at the time's 2 months old. My son's probably 2. So she goes out to the grocery store with all kids, and she's like, all right, I got all the food. We're ready to go. And I'm like, Blake, I don't think we can drive home. We better have somebody pick us up. So we Uber to my house, and I just get nasty sick. I just start throwing up everywhere, dry heaving. I was like, Blake, why don't you stay down, get a beer? Brittany will be down. Hopefully she'll cook you some food. Took an hour. My wife's pissed. And Blake's just down there for an hour just drinking a beer, and he's like, dude, I'm leaving. I sat on the toilet for 6 hours, dry heaving, just throwing up. It's ridiculous.
So he left? Oh, I can't ask a question.
He left. He left. He was like, you know what? I'm not staying around for you, dude. You got to get it together.
He's the best. We once we once stayed at his house. We stayed over his house in Jacksonville, and he just left the key for us and was like, just let yourself in. He didn't come home for like 8 hours. We were just hanging out in his house. It's just the best.
Doors always open at Blake's.
Yes. Yep. All right, Billy, you got a question?
Hey, Chad, Billy here. So you've been in a couple quarterback rooms. We recently also had Chase Daniels on and asked him what was his favorite contribution to make to whatever quarterback room he was in. He said coffee makers, a certain type of coffee maker. Just wondering, what's your favorite contribution to make in a quarterback room? It doesn't have to be a physical object. Could just be like a mentality thing, but what would that be?
I mean, it's definitely got to be our knowledge. I think, being in the league for 15 years, I think what we bring to the table, you almost are like that secondary coach. You understand the game and kind of can help out the younger quarterbacks as much as possible. I think I've done that with a lot of guys, with Blake Bortles, with Blaine Gabbert, obviously Patrick Mahomes. So I think our knowledge is definitely one of the biggest attributes.
Yeah. All right, Hank.
What's up, Chad? You played at Michigan with Ryan Mallett. How good was his arm?
I mean, stupid. 6'7", 250 pounds. Just a pure rocket shooter. I remember the first day he came in, I felt like I had a strong arm. He threw like a 10-yard out route, went right through the receiver's hands and like pelted the wall. Sounded like a shotgun went off. I was like, geez, this kid's going to be special.
Yeah, he had. I remember watching him at Michigan and being like, "Holy fuck, this guy's arm is insane." Not always accurate, but insane arm.
Could use some touch.
Yeah, a little touch. Max, wrap us up, and then Chad will have a question for us.
I'd just like to know what makes Kansas City fans so special and crazy.
Did Kansas City ask that question for you? What was that?
I just think they show out each and every game. I don't think it matters what game it is. My first time coming to the stadium in 2018, I don't know who we were playing, but 8 a.m., I got there like 4 hours early, and it was jam-packed. You got the smokers going, barbecue rolling. I mean, people are just getting rowdy, and they're just a special group of people. They're always there cheering us on, and one of the loudest stadiums I've ever played in.
Yeah. All right. So you got a question for us?
I don't know. I was trying to think what I could ask you. I mean, how about everybody impersonates Patrick Mahomes' voice?
Oh, well, we got one. PFT has the best Patrick Mahomes impersonation.
I don't know if that's really a nice thing to do, Chad. I mean, you come on another man's program telling him what to do with his, how to do his accent, stuff like that. I think that's just a little hoodwinky.
Pretty good, right?
Not bad. Not bad.
I just love Kitcher.
I'm here. Yeah, I'm here.
I'm him.
Yeah. All right. Well, Chad, thank you so much. We appreciate it, man. Best of luck rest of the year in the playoffs, which you guys have, you're back in again, 7 straight years. We announced on the last part of my take, so we can congratulate you right now on 8 straight AFC West championships. So we've already given you next year's. Because every year everyone's like in the media is like, oh, look out for the Raiders, look out for the Chargers. Just give it again. So you guys win 8 straight. Yeah, congratulations on that.
Thanks for having me, guys.
All right, thanks
Chad.
man.
Chad Henne was brought to you by Chevy. Playoff pictures are starting to emerge. There's contenders and there's pretenders. Jake, what's a contender? Who's a contender right now?
The Detroit Lions.
Yeah.
Okay, I like it. And Jake, who's a pretender?
The Miami Dolphins.
The Tennessee Titans.
Okay.
Yeah. There's one team that's always a pretender and one team that's always a contender. I'm not going to say the pretender's name. You know who the contender is, though, right, Jake? It's Chevy. That team is Chevy and its star player, the Silverado, a truck with unstoppable grit and determination. According to J.D. Power, Chevy trucks have earned more new vehicle quality awards than any other brand. That's some serious hardware. Head over to Chevy.com. Learn more. Silverado, as strong and dependable as the people who drive them. For J.D. Power 2022 U.S. award information, visit jdpower.com/awards. Check out the Silverado. It's awesome. It's the best truck I've ever seen. It is, by very definition, a head-turner. People are going to love this truck. You're going to love this truck. Go check it out at a Chevy dealership today. Take it for a test drive. Or visit jdpower.com/awards. Find out more about those awards.
All right. Guys on Chicks time. Brought to you by Pardon My Cheesesteak. Go check it out right now. PardonMyCheesesteak.com. We got the suit right behind us. It's cheesesteak season. DoorDash, Uber Eats, Postmates, Grubhub, 6-inch, 12-inch classic cheesesteaks, Chipotle cheesesteaks. Open 7 days a week. Late night delivery. Everything.
We should do cheesesteaks on Thursday.
Cheesesteaks on Thursday. Pardon My Cheesesteak. PardonMyCheesesteak.com and check them out. Okay. Guys on Chicks.
We have an update from a few weeks ago. Remember the girl who caught her boyfriend cheating, but she had concert tickets?
Yeah.
He had concert tickets, and she wanted to go, and she was deciding whether she should go or not.
Yep.
She followed up. She said, hey, boys, this is an update. I ended up going to the concert with my ex-boyfriend. By the way, sorry for not saying who it was. I thought I did. It was The Weeknd. Anyway, I gave in and said yes. And let's just say it wasn't the best experience I've had in the slightest. He pretty much tried to start an argument with me the entire time and ended up leaving with another girl who he met there. LOL.
No.
Big Cat was definitely wrong with the having a baby that night thing, at least on my part. Love you guys.
Yeah, no, he might have. So I don't think I was wrong. He might have had a baby.
Wait, were you saying that you were going to get back together?
Yeah, I
that
thought they
night?
were going to get back together. Because it was like, what was it? I guess the breakup, they didn't get back together when he was supposed to go to meet him at the concert. Jennifer Aniston and Vince Vaughn. Yeah, so I was wrong. Hand up. My bad. Was the concert good?
You got to go see The Weeknd perform.
Yeah,
that's pretty
that's
awesome.
cool.
He's one of the. I fucking love The Weeknd.
Love that guy.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Oh,
The Weeknd.
that always plays.
Hey, PMT boys. Question here for bro football doc Billy Football. My boyfriend Nick came in last place in his fantasy football league, and as punishment, he has to enter a bodybuilding competition. I've been trying to give him advice on how to get bigger and stronger, but he says I don't know what I'm talking about. Any advice on how he can get swole? I think steroids may be his only hope at this point.
Yeah, it's definitely not worth doing steroids for an off bodybuilding competition if you're not going to make it like your actual career.
Why not? Wouldn't it be cool to look awesome once?
Yeah,
like if you can get one great picture of you and just put it up all over your house.
but just ruins your whole body for your like whole life.
If you only do one cycle.
Why would you get into a bodybuilding competition not like want to at least try to compete?
Yeah.
Like if you're gonna be in there, you don't want to finish last.
You got some beta energy right now. I'm just gonna say it.
Look, I mean, if it's a natty bodybuilding competition, you can't like actually take steroids. beta alanine, just low calories going up. Like it's a whole different. Like bodybuilding is like super dangerous.
Aren't they all natty competitions?
Yeah, I know.
Everybody lies.
Yeah, I think in the natty competition you want to do steroids.
You know what? Just tell them just chicken and rice. That's what everyone says. Chicken
Okay.
and rice.
Just eat chicken and rice and you'll be okay.
Yeah.
Just
You'll be
5
ready
by
to go.
5. Arnold's big 3. You know, if you can't put on mass doing that, then maybe try the chemicals.
What about DMAA?
Meth?
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe.
What about MDMA?
I just purchased some of that geranium extract. Should be getting it any day now.
PFT's about to start doing some meth.
Oh, okay.
It's
Nice.
like it's geranium seed extract, Billy. It's not meth.
Totally different.
Chicken
Not
and
a
rice.
drug guy.
No. Gentle boys. I'm 98% sure my boyfriend is going to propose to me on Christmas Eve. I know he has the ring and has gone out of his way to make sure all my extended family will be there at our Christmas party this year. He is also a huge football guy and is Jalen Hurts in fantasy football.
Oh.
According to him, if Jalen Hurts doesn't play on Saturday, Christmas will be fucking ruined. He has pretty much said he's going to bail on my family's party if Hurts doesn't play. Did I read things wrong? Is he trying to throw me off? Am I about to get engaged to a lunatic? Help.
Yes.
Yeah, you are. But the good news is when Gardner Minshew wins that game, he's going to be so happy.
Well,
he's going to propose to you anyways.
Well, he's got to pick him up in fantasy. It's fantasy, not Eagles.
Oh, he's not an Eagles fan.
He says he's fantasy.
Oh
Jalen
shit!
Hurts.
Yeah, he's got to pick Gardner Minshew up, and then Gardner Minshew will make you want to get married.
Yeah. I tell him, hey, this Gardner Minshew guy, I listened to his podcast. They've been talking him up. They said dead coach game. Like, you should probably pick him up.
Sirianni also just came out breaking news and said he's not ruling out Jalen Hurts.
Oh,
His body is different.
His body's different.
His body is not like ours. I will not rule him out.
Wow. That might be Sirianni doing the pandering Philly thing.
Yeah, it is. Sirianni's doing too much
He's
for sure.
just like, yeah, this guy, I'm not gonna rule him out.
Sirianni's like, I ain't hear no bell.
Yeah.
Hey boys, when my husband
Max, does it ever get like irritates you just a little bit that Sirianni like tries so hard to be Philadelphia?
100%.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
good.
All right.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
yeah.
just
No,
want to
no,
make
no,
sure
no,
you
no. I
recognize that.
I think he's a good football coach, but he's corny. He's corny. as
Yeah.
fuck.
By the way, that guy that the last question, just to wrap it up, you're dating a winner. That's a winner. You know what I'm saying? Like he knows, and a real winner in life is someone who knows if they're going to lose, they don't show up. That's a winner.
Mm-hmm.
You can't lose if you never show up. So he thinks he's going to lose fantasy football. He doesn't show up to Christmas Eve. Never happened.
Mm-hmm.
That's a winner.
Hey boys, when my husband works out at night, he changes into compression shorts. Afterwards, he always puts back on the underwear he was wearing before he worked out. I told him this is gross and that he shouldn't put underwear back on after he takes it off. I even bought him more underwear.
Wait.
No.
Is this gross or am I a crazy wife? Thanks. Love you guys.
You're crazy. You're crazy.
Wife. Crazy wife alert.
Wait.
He's wearing different underwear when he's working out.
Yeah, but the big question is, after he works out, does he shower and then he puts back on the original underwear, or does he get sweaty and put back on the
I
first?
think if you wear underwear all day and you take it off, like it's got to be off.
I think if it's the same day, you can put it back
No,
on.
if you go to the gym, you put your compressions on, work out, shower, then put on your same underpants, that is totally fine.
I agree. I think
what
that's fine.
That's what everyone
if
did in
he's
high
showering
school.
at home, you should have enough underwear that you can change.
Agreed.
Yeah. So I think we're all on the same page. It sounds like he's going to the gym, though, what Billy just said, and that you just put your underwear back on.
Underwear isn't dirty until you work out in it.
Disagree.
I know there are two things.
No, like
That
if you're
is-
doing laundry,
You haven't eaten enough
There,
in your life.
there are two things that I think. My rule of thumb
course
is
you shit
if you
yourself.
work
Well,
out
yeah.
if you work out in your underwear, it's dirty. Change it. If you fall asleep in your underwear and then wake up, then it's dirty.
If you take like multiple shits that day, it's definitely
it's
dirty.
an underwear has a 24-hour cycle. 1 day, 1 night. If you choose to wear underwear at night.
But to this woman's point, you can always buy more underwear. Like you feel like a king when you have an overflowing underwear drawer.
I think it's like, especially if it's a night, you work out, shower, just put on new underwear.
But then that underwear is ruined. Then what do? You fall asleep in that underwear, and then the next morning you have to put those in the dirty clothes?
That's true.
I'll be honest.
That's true.
There are some Saturdays that I don't shower that I'm just wearing what I wore. Like I don't really change that stuff up.
I think if you shower before you go to bed and you put on new underwear before you go to bed, you can wear that underwear the next morning.
Yeah, yeah.
can, but
it's
yeah.
a 24-hour cycle. You
Yeah.
have
You
24
can.
hours
Sounds
to
like a
wear
guy who's
piece.
never had a wet dream.
When I'm having wet dreams every night.
You can, but I don't like to do that. I don't like the act of waking up and the underwear that I'm wearing is what I'm stuck with all day. I like to change into something, get a spark going.
It's such bullshit that you stop having wet dreams when you're like 13, because those it's better than virtual reality.
Yeah,
I think if you didn't jerk off, you'd probably have more.
I think the
wet dreams happen because kids don't jerk, like they're just like it just happens.
Yeah, but I want one.
I had one when I was a youth, and then nothing.
Yeah, it's such bullshit.
It
was awesome.
You could fuck the hottest chicks.
I had a one night stand with my brain, and then my brain just left.
Like, that is just bullshit. Like, whoever can change that, change it.
Elon,
a wet dream pill,
Neuralink,
better than virtual reality.
There's got to be something that he's working on with that.
Yeah.
What if you just had a cum button?
That'd be kind of cool.
That would be sick.
Yeah, it's like a cough button on a radio broadcast. Yeah.
All right, last one. Hey, boys, my boyfriend is obsessed with the direction the toilet paper roll goes. Is it just him, or is this a guy thing? My boyfriend and I have been dating for over 2 years, and the only time we fight is when I put the toilet roll on the wrong way. The wrong way being where the paper goes behind the roll instead of front. In my opinion, if you want the roll to go on a certain way, then you should put a new roll on when it's empty instead of leaving it.
Oh, yeah.
On the hook.
He can't complain.
If I'm going to have to replace every roll in the house, I get to decide which direction. At this point, I've just started leaving the empty roll in the hook and place a new roll on top, sideways, so that there can't be a wrong way. So I reiterate, why are y'all so obsessed with the toilet paper roll direction?
I don't think that it's just guys that are obsessed. I think a lot of girls are going to weigh in on this too.
I'm 100% not obsessed.
It doesn't matter to me at all.
At all.
But people care about this a lot. There's a lot of people that have ongoing debates.
But here's the problem. I don't want to make a mountain out of a molehill here, but the fact that he cares this much and he doesn't change the toilet paper, that means that I think he's using the toilet. He hates your guts. He wants to get a divorce, and he's using the toilet boyfriend. He wants to break up, and he's using the toilet paper as a conduit for a fight. So you guys got to go to couples therapy, because it's not the toilet paper. I don't think so. Because again, if you're obsessed with the toilet paper, you would change it yourself.
Yeah.
Right? Mm-hmm. That doesn't make any sense.
Yeah,
you got big issues that you got to figure out with this guy.
I'm gonna when I get my new house, I'm gonna have such a flex in the bathroom. I'm gonna have 2 toilet paper holders, one going over, one going under.
Oh,
it's whatever you want to do, it's up to you.
You know, it'd be an awesome flex is if in your house there's like a bathroom on the first floor that like all the guests use, and just use like airport toilet paper.
Yeah, just make it really shitty,
industrial size, and just never have to change it and be like, sorry. That's what you get.
I'm thinking of segregating my bathrooms by number 1 and number 2.
Ooh, a urinal. I've always wanted a urinal.
Yeah, just get a urinal downstairs. Like what would that be? Like a quarter bathroom?
Yeah. Just a nice little urinal on the wall.
Have a trough. I just want a trough in like next to my kitchen.
Yeah.
In the man cave, though.
Well, that's called a sink.
Yeah.
I do that all the time.
Yeah, get a trough in the man cave would be ultimate.
I would say I'm still probably 2 times a week I piss in my sink.
Which sink?
Kitchen. What?
Oh, that's
what I finished doing the dishes late at night.
I actually think that this
and then
is
I just run the
water.
What if
it's an ongoing bit that Big Cat's? I still don't believe that you actually do that.
I do. I know he does.
He's seen me do it.
If you see Little Cat peeing in the sink, are you going to be like, you can't do that?
No,
or are you
he's very
don't
much
do it
alive.
if your mom's around.
No, I'm going to be very, very proud of him, like father, like son.
What if you get a call from the school?
Be like, a hole's a hole. What's the problem here? Call me when you got a real problem. It's always like 11:30 at night, and it's like I do all the dishes, clean up the kitchen, reward myself. It's a reward. It's whatever. I like it.
Do you have to stand on your tippy toes?
No.
Do you wash it out after?
Yeah, I run a little bit of soap, and I'm going in the hole, and then I'll just run the water a little bit.
There's got to be spatter though.
No.
Yeah, there's
it's
spatter.
a huge hole, dude.
Yeah, there's spatter.
It's a huge hole. And if there's spatter, who cares? Sterile, right?
Yeah, pee sterile.
Thank you, Billy. Anything else? Any other questions?
That's it.
Max, you got one?
I actually do have one.
It's a follow-up, right?
Yeah, this is a follow-up. Hello, Big Cat, PFT, Henry, Billy, Jake, and Batgirl. My boyfriend and I were wondering who has won the lottery ball the most. Has Hank gotten it yet? Because surely he must have.
I think
Who sent that in?
I don't have that
I
information.
think Jake and I might be tied.
Yeah. Well, actually, you know what? Let's go around the room. Jake.
I think I'm at 4.
Okay, Billy.
Billy's at 4 or 5. I'm not.
Billy?
I think I'm at 4 or 5, but that's
You also-
69. I'm
You
taking
said
as a
6
win.
or 7.
Yeah.
No, but then we checked it. It was 4 or 5.
I'm at 2.
I'm at 2. I've had it twice.
Max.
I have 1.
0.
Hank.
I have 0.
What? You've never gotten this?
Nope.
All right, well, let's go now. Let's do it.
26.
Numbers.
26.
Can I have a number, Hank?
No.
Please?
No.
Please. I'm asking you nicely.
2.
Okay, 2.
17.
18.
20.
What is it, 26?
26.
I can see in Hank's eye he thinks this is actually the time.
No, it's not the time, Hank.
He thinks
Sebastian.
it's the time. It's so great. Every time.
If you want to leave the studio first, Hank, you can. You don't have to stick around and watch this again.
Sebastian's still with 82.
72.
Damn. Oh.
You're so bad. I'll just do this one. This doesn't count. I just want to see. Doesn't count. Doesn't count.
Can it count?
No.
Does not count.
What would you,
Officially does not
what would you
count.
have picked if you were going to pick, though?
Oh, 62.
Oh my
Reverse.
72,
That
62.
means this one has to be 52.
Fuck. I guess we got
Yeah,
to see.
we gotta
Count?
Make it
Doesn't
count.
Doesn't
Why?
count.
Pick 52.
Doesn't count because there's already 2 balls out. Pick 52 though. 7. Like that extra hurts, right? When it's like 3, the odds are decreased, and you're still not even close.
No, I would have not be happy if I got it right there.
Love you guys.
The first sign of human civilization is a healed femur bone.